Let me make sure I've got everything here, and we will be. I believe I've got everything. My notebook's in order.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, but now later on, life goes on and I'm fighting away.
Shouldn't have played D&D. All
right.
Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
As I'll ever be.
Alrighty, an hour and 10 minutes in after my original projected start date, but that's life, and this is the one that we can all do this week. So, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. It is no problem at all, Shady, our new guest who will be here with us for the next few sessions. All right, welcome back to another riveting session of the Questing Beasts. Last time, our heroes committed murder. Granted, it was in self-defense. It was completely fine. It was fine. I mean, they started it. I mean, technically, their dog started it.
How could this happen to me?
Our rogue is still recovering. Yeah, that's right. Our rogue.
I'm lost in the fringe of the bigger beast.
Our fighter's doing fine.
Oh, no.
The human version? Because I'll hate you.
Either way. Last time, things started out rather fluffy. A little bit of extra shopping, a little bit of extra housekeeping. They met a shark man. His name was Thark. He was a friend. They met a few other people. They met their official handler, a very fluffy cat woman. And then they went on, shopped around a little bit, went to an antique store, bought a piece of wood that just did not begin and did not end. Then they went to a garden run by the old orc matron, Violent Violet, where Rana rolled like, what, fifth fucking nat 20 in a row for a performance check? I'm going to have to start asking you to prove those at this rate.
I am now using the other dice roller, so that should not happen with that frequency.
No, it's actually worse on that one. I got 2 nat 20s rolling that one randomly earlier.
Jesus Christ.
It's going to be hard for me because I like just clicking and hitting the dice randomly, so...
Either way. She came in, she sang a very rare plant called a whistling strangler back to health. And it went so well, she gave Irana a seed of one, as well as letting her pick a couple of plants of her own, which she did and have been sent back to her home. After that, their pet loyal friend, not quite pet, Blink Dog and Mako immediately was alerted and took off running down an alleyway, where they found a noble acquaintance of sorts, the human rogue Tessa being accosted by a strange-looking humanoid with very chalky white skin. Like Vin Diesel if he was covered in dust and looked even more skinhead than usual.
Whoa! You just took us to a dark fucking place.
Damn.
It's the emo thing. Kyra murdered somebody. She's going to be like this for a while. All right, so that person.
Side, this session will now be timeless.
Yeah. Either way, Best Figure is clearly aiming to have them there and unleash 2 friends of his own, a pair of snack people, Snursons, deadly Snursons.
Now dead Snursons.
Yep, quite dead Snursons, thoroughly dead. One of them got stabbed through the fucking chest by a rogue, Kyra. The other one got their head reduced to mustard by a rock. Then they fought against the Sandy fellow. Did pretty good. Held their own. Eventually, it was interrupted by the city's lawmaster, Agni Brimwick, who mustanged his way through the door, turned into an Ifrit, and immolated the son of a bitch.
Yay!
And now they are left survivors of not 1, but 2 encounters with the Fey mob. And now we get to find out what happens next. Okay, so first things first. Just to make sure to remind, this is beginning right when we left off, so spell slots are not recovered. You're all standing there in a circle, surrounded by the corpses of your fallen foes and the prone and quite desolated-looking consciousness of your blonde-haired, bespectacled nerd leaning against a wall over there.
Friends, we must use Dragon Balls to wish back Krillin.
God damn it.
We used those 3 months ago, Agnes says. You'll have to wait another, 9.
Krillin is lost forever.
Yeah, fuck him. Well, that's what Android 18 says.
Since when did this become Jim now?
Don't worry, I'm just in a funny mood. I had a rough day. This is how I'm coping. Okay, so back to actual in-universe conversation. Agni takes a look over all the lot of you, sees that for the large part you're all in good enough shape to stand and move.
When did this?
And he looks around at the lot of you and just thinks for a moment, hand on his slightly sizzling chin. Literally sizzling.
Yes.
And figuratively.
Yeah, he does have a nice jawline. It's one of the many reasons his wife married him. All right, so. We need to move. Follow me. He starts walking out of the hole that he recently exploded his way through.
Kind of takes a minute, but does so. She's still in a haze.
Tessa's sticking very close to you right now, kind of got a hand hovering there just in case you start getting woozy and tunnel-eyed again. Just kind of keeping pace with everyone. As you all make your way out, you... Go ahead.
Slide up behind Kara and just pat her shoulder lightly and just watch her back.
Good, good. Look after your nerd. They're fragile. All right, so...
Damn it.
As you walk out your way through the winding alleyway that practically labyrinthine in quality, originally it just seemed to go on endlessly, just looping back and forth to that end, the work of the mysterious assassin Dover and Earth Genasi. But you now find it's a pretty straight shot out because literally every wall has a giant sizzling hole in it that just leads right straight out back to the street. It's not that long of a walk, surprisingly. You were walking in circles mostly. Agni looks very serious as he paces his way out, looks back at the lot of you and goes, head back to your home. Start packing whatever you feel you need for traveling essentials. I'll have the golem escort you for now. You just survived one hit. I doubt they're going to send another. But for now, looks around at you. It would be best if you got out of the city. They're going to be looking for you, and I need to be able to concentrate on catching them unawares. We have to take them down. They're going to start doing moves like this, and if there's even a slight chance Dover's not dead, you're not going to be safe here. Not for another day. So please, I know all of you can clearly handle yourselves. You did just fine earlier, but we don't get people like you in town very often, and I really don't want to lose you.
Cool. We leave town forever.
Oh no, you'll be coming back, I assure you. I think you'll all want a piece of the people who've done this to you. I just need time to formulate a plan.
All right.
Come, friends. We must make bindles.
Agni just stands there, claps his hands a couple of times, and a couple of golems materialize. It's like, take them back to their home. It's like, I'll have your handler meet you in an hour. We'll try and find a reasonable guise for getting you out of the city that won't attract attention. And with that, he paces off. Very stern, very broad-shouldered, hands behind his back. You can see the fire on his head is burning slightly higher than usual. So he briefly stops and turns around again. It's like, also, I think it would be best if he points at Tessa and Mako. These two stick with me for now. They know a lot, and I'll be able to form a much more thorough plan faster with their help. Tessa just kind of nods her head very eagerly at this. Just, yeah, wasn't exactly looking forward to the idea of leaving. Not exactly prime survival chances out there for me either, so I will happily stay under custody here. I was actually going to suggest that on my own later, but after seeing what you just turned into earlier, it kind of, well, I like living. I don't want to go against anything you have to say right now. It's a survival mechanism. Agni does not really react to this, but just kind of motions for her to head over to him, and she does so. And Mako, on the other hand, kind of hesitates for a moment and looks at all of you. You can see a little bit of hesitation in her eyes.
There's a dog whimper.
She especially lingers on Kyra, who, has post-murder face.
Post-murder face.
Irana actually reaches out and kind of pats Kyra's arm and looks at Imako and says, well, it's up to you, but we've got her, if you're worried about that.
All right. Okay, then. I'm just going to have to roll something for her then, because as of right now, she is pretty torn. Okay. Standing right in between the two departing groups for maximum dramatic effect, she briefly places a paw back towards you guys, trots up towards you, sniffs a little bit at Kyra's hand, licks it once, then teleports back over to Agni.
Oh,
It's like, good. You'll all be escorted out safely. I have a feeling you'll be in very good hands. This hopefully won't be a very long wait, but better safe than sorry as far as I'm concerned. And don't worry, I'll be posting guards at your place too. If any of them try anything, I guarantee you they will not meet a happy fate. And with that, he waves a little bit as he walks away. The golems have materialized, briefly motion for you to follow them.
I wave at them to see if they respond.
One of them does, but it's a little awkwardly, just kind of looks kind of confused about it. Just kind of hi. Probably not the same one, but it's similar. There's one of them out there that really likes you. It's hard to tell.
I'm just gonna wave at every one of them now.
Good. They deserve it. They're kind of just the help for most people.
Melody?
All right, so.
Also,
what
is
just happened
Tessa-
in the fucking chat?
Are Tessa and Imako walking with...
I tried to post a GIF, but it's not wanting to go.
They are walking with Agni, yes.
Well, Tonka's going to cup his hands and go, Oi!
They stop and look back at you.
For whatever reason, can't get in trouble. All can say you're a friend of Violet.
Agni's eyebrow goes up at that.
What?
Just really, really high little candle wick of flame, right? Like halfway up his forehead there. It's like, and then you see a little bit of a smile. So like, that actually is not a bad idea. Like, make a note of that. I'm gonna have to talk with her later.
I just want a backup idea if Agni got like distracted or pulled aside by some bullshit.
It's like Tessa just looks back at you all, kind of waves a little bit and goes, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll remember that. It's like, hopefully next time we see you, we'll be ready to kick some ass together.
I can help.
All right, then. See you when I see you. Be safe out there. It's a wild world outside these walls. She turns back. Imako briefly stands, turns around as well, sits down on her haunches, raises a paw, then turns back and starts walking. Okay, so you guys head back home, down to floor 49 with a couple of these are, you notice, a little bit beefier than the golems that you'd seen a little bit. These look like they're designed pretty much exclusively for defensive purposes. You actually see there's a little bit of stone and concrete mixed in with the clay. Even a little bit of metal.
Ooh.
You even noticed one of them kind of has little bits of what almost you could swear looks like rebar sticking out of one of its knuckles.
Jesus.
Fucking Christ.
Shit.
Yeah, he's not fucking around right now. Okay, so you guys
Do
get
they
down
have
to
like construction hard hats and everything with like wife beaters that are like sweaty and shit?
They're made out of clay and colored and just basically part of their bodies, but sure, why not?
Hell yeah!
They even have really strong, jutting Hellboy-esque jawline.
Nice.
Oh God.
These
Jaw you
are-
could bludgeon someone to death with.
Yep, and they can extend out their anatomy, so they literally could. These are the Muddy Boys. All right, so
The Muddy Boys.
you guys get down to floor 49, relatively uneventfully, but every eye does kind of turn to look at you. It does come with it a slight sense of, oh yeah, we were just attacked in broad daylight by a couple of hitmen. It's like, there's no guarantee any of these people we're looking at couldn't be working for the mob.
Also, Kyra's covered in blood.
Yep, you have got blood on your khakis. Man, that's going to be really hard to get out, even with magic. Khakis just
Wear
stink
khakis.
so badly, guys.
That's why you don't wear khaki.
Hey, they're Bill's character. That's the type of clothes that they remember.
They paint a canvas of your experience.
It's dark enough. It just looks like fucking like camo khakis.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Plus, they're comfy as shit.
Oh,
Grosk notices Kyra is kind of traumatized by the whole.
Oh no, Kyra wasn't wearing her khaki. She was wearing her freaking Epton clothes. That's even worse.
Oh no, you look like a local. Oh no. Either way, yes, Grosk.
Grosk notices Kyra's looking kind of traumatized and covered in blood. Grosk kind of like hangs back to be with Kyra and is like, "Friend Kyra, did Grosk ever tell you of time Grosk go on first hunt?"
I'm gonna roll a wisdom save for her.
The answer is no.
I meant to see if Kyra just reacts in general.
She's kind of tunnel visioning right now.
Okay, yeah. Even though she rolled a 9, her wisdom pulled her out of it. But no, I didn't.
So, Grosk was 3 summers past hatching. And Grosk, caretakers say, "Grosk, you are old enough. Your legs are long. Your arms are strong. It's time to hunt and provide for family." So Grosk go with other adults to go hunt. Grosk never hunt before. Eventually we come into a clearing. And in clearing, we find deer. Graceful creature with long, thin legs. Calm, serene, eating grass, doing harm to no one. And the caretaker says, "Grosk, it does not see us. It does not smell us. Take crossbow. Kill deer." And Grosk struggle with this, because even though Grosk know that lives depend on us killing, that killing in this case is nothing wrong, part of Grosk feels sympathy for deer. It's the life of Grosk and Grosk's family, or deer's life. But even so, Grosk feels sympathy. Grosk could not bring himself to shoot crossbow. And deer almost get away until other adults take care of it. Caretaker approached me at end of hunt and say, "Grosk, you know importance of killing, yes?" And Grosk had been taught this, and Grosk parrots what Grosk had been taught. Teacher say, "Do you know cost of killing?" And Grosk had never heard cost of killing before. Teachers say, killing makes one harder. It's like a callus on a hand, or a scale that has not yet shed. And that can hurt a bit, because we are born tender and soft of scale. And it is good to keep some of that tenderness. The tenderness is what keeps the tribe together. But eventually you must come to terms with the fact that in life, we need hard scales. Next hunt, Grosk shot the deer. And at that, Grosk nods her head and returns to the group.
That was very good. That was very good. All right. How does Kyra react to that?
How? I think a persuasion versus insight or something.
If you both so choose to, sure.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it.
With advantage on your case.
Grosk's persuasion is not terrible.
I would give you advantage after that because
Yeah.
Well, Grosk got a natural 20.
Well, look at that! Hey, Mazel Tov! All right.
Meant to be.
Okay, yeah, because Kara rolled her wisdom to see if she would be obstinate about that. She rolled a nat 1.
Meant to
Wow.
be. Meant to be.
Oh, that's perfect. You can't make that shit up. Okay, so I'm guessing that it was exactly what you needed to hear right now in some weird sort of way.
Yeah, it's some weird sort of lizard folkian. I've been around this group of people long enough to where it rubbed off me sort of way. That's exactly what she kind of needed to hear right now. Thank you, Gross. Thank you
No problem, friend Kyra.
for everything.
And Grosk merely nods.
Aw.
Well, I must say that was a fantastic story. And you all look down, and there's Schmeffrey walking along beside all of you.
I don't think I can look down at Schmidt.
He's actually taller than you, but you're in a different part of the group. So
Hello,
you are quite the skilled orator there, friend.
Irana actually kind of leaps into the air at his voice because she is not expecting that, and she was listening to Grosk.
Yeah, Kara nearly has a heart attack.
Good. My stealth techniques are working. All right, so what do we all need all this about? What's with the
I'm shutting my door.
defensive escort here? I was coming down to visit. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm a terrible lawyer. I actually was told by Agni to guard your place.
Okay, when he first said something, Kara said, "Bloody cunt!"
Sure, why not?
Kyra's
We were attacked by mobs, so friend tell us that we have to leave town, possibly forever.
Oh yeah, I was told that much. You look all right. You look fine. I mean, watching you handle the crew before, I have no doubt you could handle a measly scuppers.
He's fine. We will pack bindles, go on journey, have adventures.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. It sounds much lovely. Either way, Agni came and contacted me a few moments ago and told me your folks is going to be leaving for a bit. I figured this was the case. So, he asked me to oversee the defense of your new domicile. Since I've already spilled blood in it before, I saw no reason to refuse.
Aww.
Oh well, thank you, Schmeffrey, both for the heart attack and for watching the place.
Grosk rolls a 13 on a sleight of hand check to stealthily pick up the translation dictionary she has. Figure out some of the words Schmeffrey just used in common.
Okay, then. I'm going to have to roll Schmeffrey to see if he notices that. Not that it's really going to have any effects, but except it might be fun. That's a 13 himself, so that matches, so it goes to you. Schmeffrey's not very smart either. So yeah, no, he does not notice you. So while Schmeffrey's just going on happily, wearing his owl helmet again, can't see his guard up face, Grosk is just silently flipping the pages of a little book. If she had little lizard spectacles, she'd be moving them further up her snout. Sorry, if you don't mind my asking, what happened?
Two delicious snake people attempt to kill us. We fight back. They die. Then sort of mud man appears and tries to kill us, and he harder to take down.
Bug man.
Made of
Some-
dirty,
Had some sort of
dirty
feeling that
bits.
An Earth Genasi?
Jeffrey does get it stopped for a brief moment, then resumes stepping. So like, I don't know. It's never a good thing when one of them goes bad. They kind of had the keys to the castle. But you said you didn't take care of him, though. Agni sure didn't sound like there was someone on the loose when he spoke to me.
Oh no, Agni got to him.
Oh. Never seen him fight before. Must have been quite the sight.
A little bit.
So spindly and tall. I can't imagine him holding his own against most people, but I suppose he's the lawmaster for a reason. I always figured it was just because he was real good at paperwork and could melt his own wax for seals.
Oh my god.
really well.
Yeah, I'm guessing that everybody can sense that they should probably keep that shit a secret.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a wise move, yeah. If you want to roll for further inclination as to why, you could roll a knowledge arcana on that or knowledge history, if you're up to it. You don't have to, though.
Unnecessary rolls are the best part of D&D.
Feel free.
Kyra's trying to take her mind off what she just did, so she's gonna try.
Sure thing.
Would that be with disadvantage?
After Grosk's story getting you out of your funk a little bit, I'll say it's a straight roll.
Alright, so that would be a history with... That would be a 21.
Nice, okay. Okay, you have read a little bit. Ifrit are actually very popular figures in a lot of children's lit. Because, they're tall, they're fiery, they supposedly grant wishes. But they're also known in a lot of stories to be kind of a very fickle, violent disposition.
And they make too many pop culture references. Like, it's funny at first, but after a point, it just wears on.
And sometimes they change voice actors.
Uh,
Yeah, when they inexplicably change the voice of Homer Simpson, it's really bad.
Yep. So, at that, you kind of get the vibe that the fact that Genasi don't tend to talk much about the other denizens of the elemental planes means that maybe not all of them are super welcome, and maybe not all of them are exactly smiled upon. Some of them are kind of feared. So him being an Ifrit might actually be a really good thing for the city itself, but it might also make a lot of people nervous knowing that something that powerful is right there, in charge of their safety. Not everybody's on board for that.
Yeah, Irana kind of shares a incredibly awkward side glance with Kyra. Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Alright.
Say, well, I'll take your word for it. So, as he rounds the corner, walking down the city streets, you see a few of the civilians. You see some familiar faces looking at you. They look a little bit concerned and worried, seeing you all together with guards. You hear some whispers. They seem of the concerned sort. If you want to roll perception to overhear any of the conversations, you may.
Oh yeah, unnecessary rolls.
Would Kyra be with a disadvantage?
In this case, I will say yes, because it's not about something going on with the group. It's in your periphery. I know how introverts work.
Alright, right. She rolled a 14 and a 17, so
Still not bad.
that's an 18 overall for her.
Nice, nice. You guys are rolling good so far. Okay, yeah. Overall, nobody on the floor seems especially questioning or thinking you guys got up to no good. They all have pretty good amount of faith in you. You overhear a few of them asking what had happened. There's even a couple of weird rumors floating around about the attack already.
Oh shit.
Damn, that was fast.
Rumors fly. You also see a few other newer faces running around, including a couple of smaller folk. You actually see a kobold kind of shifting into the crowd and moving away for a brief moment. Kind of had a slightly yellowish scale to it. Couldn't really get a good glimpse of the gender. or any defining characteristics beyond that. You see a couple of rat folk as well, kind of moving back and forth, and one of them slips into a sewer grate.
So now, would that be a knowledge history
If you so choose.
to figure out why the suddenly influx of small folk?
If you so choose.
Oh,
Mr.
Kyra.
Splinter, is that you?
That's a 15.
15. Still not bad. Okay, yeah, you don't know enough about the city's infrastructure in entirety to understand a lot of what you're seeing, but you'd have heard conversation before that a lot of the smaller races do tend to flock to the sluiceways, basically to that there's a massive labyrinthine series of water canals running in between each of the floors. It's practically another city in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It tends to be where the denizens of the dark like to live. A few more of the dark vision-y types. Kobolds in particular primarily live down here, where most of them work in sanitation. In fact, one of them actually runs sanitation.
So essentially, they all started influx here because there's now actually jobs here to do, and...
Yep. They're checking things out a little bit. Overall, nothing in this seemed like a cause for alarm. That said, you've probably seen a few rat folk back in Madria before. There were a few of them back there. They're usually not something people smile at when they see, but that
also,
doesn't
I
mean
imagine all the tabaxi everywhere would make rat folk kind of not
Yeah,
want to be around.
There's a bit of natural enmity there, yeah. But Floor 49 only really has a few tabaxi. There was the farming family from Otzi and the Don, but why would he bother with a rat? He's too nice.
Yeah, the Don's a great guy.
I think he would prefer more honorable game.
Oh yeah, no. Like if they're fucking zebra folk or something.
So,
Genocide.
a centaur essentially would catch his eye.
Oh yeah. Okay, so as you guys round down the familiar streets, passing by the fountains with the little slight glowing amber crystals that you all struck, you're all flooded with memories of your brief, hectic little adventure down here the first time. And eventually you come back to your new abode, the museum. And you're struck with a slight sense of, oh yeah, we're not going to be sleeping here tonight. Huh, I don't know when we're coming back. Feelings like that, feeling it's slightly real. But Schmeffrey doesn't give you much time to reflect or think on it. So, all right, so I reckon if you're all heading out, you just need to head inside and start looking over, getting whatever things you feel would be adequate for travel. I'm not entirely... Yes.
Would there be... I'm asking to DM, would there be time enough for a shower?
Oh, yeah. You guys can go what time you need. Agni didn't give you a time frame just to wait for your handler to get here.
Because that's what Kyra's going to do.
Feel free. All right, so you can do that. You may, as you enter... Oh, yeah, one thing I needed to do first. As you enter, you actually see 3 other figures standing in the parlor, each of them dressed in a slightly similar garb to Schmeffrey's. It's like, oh, they got here before me. Hey, friends. Hey, chums. How we doing down here? It's like, ready to kick some people in the bitch with us?
Bitch withers.
It's like, if the situation's so inclined, sure. You hear a kind of crackly voice coming from over, hiding behind a chair. You see a guy who's actually about as short as Lumi is at this point. You see a little goblin dressed in a similar sort of garb. He looks kind of plain face-wise for goblins, kind of broad, kind of pointed nose. One of his ears, however, is kind of calcified a little bit at the edge and slightly gnarled up, almost like a tree root.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that he's was in the middle of pouring a strange-looking kind of amber-colored liquid onto a very nice-looking axe. Very, very ornate-looking, almost ceremonial. So came as soon as we heard, Schmeff. So not much delving work to be done right now, so might as well earn the coin while it's hot. So,
Why is he putting Frogimeth urine on axe?
I'm gonna roll and see if the goblin hears that. That's a 19. He actually does. It's like, he just kind of looks at you and goes, you probably don't have time for that story, so either way, you guys are friends of Schmeffrey, so that means you're mine. Kind of awkwardly strides up and sticks out a little goblin hand, long with little fingers. Name's Chaz.
Rana will shake. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Charles and me go way back. We helped clear out 48 together. It was a good time. Not nearly as eventful as our little escapade, though. Yeah, I'm all for the boring ones. That's for sure. Here's hoping floor 50's just as smooth. It's like, I, for one, do not hope for that. You look over, and leaning up against the wall is a very tall, very lanky humanoid figure with very ashen gray skin and pointed ears. You all want to roll a knowledge history or knowledge arcana to determine the origin of this creature. It's a...
Damn it. I'm printing the screen. I'm taking a screenshot.
Oh my god.
Roll
This
pretty good.
happens more often than you think.
Hold on.
Kara
I've
rolled
just-
a 25, so
I see that, yes. Yep, you most certainly did. All right, so this figure has almost no hair growing on her body at all, but is quite clearly female, wearing a very dark leather armor and having a pair of curved swords in each of her hands. And sitting at her side is a very large black dog with very unnaturally large teeth. It doesn't seem to have jowls, just giant, almost crocodile-like teeth. And a long, long tail. So, I actually am quite looking forward to the idea of a little excitement. You did not tell us you were going down to 49, much less that there was a Gru down here. Would have gladly enjoyed that. So, like, hey, yeah, I know all about your little thing, Raka. Speaking of which, this here is Raka Madar. She is one of them there elven folk, specifically one of the grey elves. You don't see many of them. And yes, now time for the DM explanation. Grey elves have an old name called the Shadar Kai. They were kind of different from most elves in that they're not like other elves. They're not quite as emo as Drow. They're actually more of just straight up emotionless in many regards. They have a long history for just being blank. Not much to them as people. They were kind of exiles from the Feywild long before there even was and were cut off from its sources. There are not that many of them, so seeing one down here is actually kind of unusual. But all of you rolled high enough to where you actually would have been aware of what they are before. Even enough to be able to tell on sight that you were looking at one. It's like the large dog at her side kind of regards all of you, sniffs around a little bit. Definitely catches a scent that gets its interest, and it begins moving around.
it's Mazimako.
It's like, don't knock anything too large over us. This place is expensive. Now then, as I said, Raka Mudar, at your service. Anything appears here, we have been ordered to adequately dispose of it. Or we can try being peaceable and reaching a reasonable conclusion. That always works too. You see another figure entering in from the kitchen door, actually. You see a very relaxed looking, very limber looking dragonborn with kind of a coppery tint to the scales, wearing a gi.
Ooh.
Born.
Just kind of licking clearly some foodstuffs. It almost looks like jelly off of one of her claw tips. It's like, so you're the ones who run this place. I expected some old stodgy gnome or something. So it's like, Finley, that's not very kind, Schmeffrey says. It's like, old gnomes are not stodgy and you know it. We're full of life.
That was the previous owner.
Yeah, Professor Schmanthony? What a silly name.
How do you know I am not known in costume? Deception 12.
Okay, I'm gonna have to roll for this now. The gauntlet's been thrown. Okay. 2 15s. Oh wow, that's a 4.
Who failed?
Oh, it wasn't Schmeffrey.
Darn.
Schmeffrey actually just kind of does a little "oh you" thing with his hand. It's like it's actually the Dragonborn. Just kind of looks you over and goes, "Yeah, I can see it. I can see it." It's like, I mean, we can be whatever we want to be on the inside, right? It's like, that's preposterous, Finley. It's like, no, seriously, you'd be surprised what people got going on underneath their skin, the goblin says. It's like, some nasty, nasty stuff inside the various humanoid bodies. Not something you really want to think about. So, like, yeah, you're probably right. Of course, I'm part dragon, so the Dragonborn asserts a very powerful, very ironclad Dragon Ball Z-esque stance, and steam comes out of most of her orifices for a moment. Most, not all. Mostly just the face ones.
Thank
Just
God.
much better, much
I was
better.
gonna say, is there steam shooting out of her shorts? What the fuck?
You don't know how Dragonborn anatomy works. All right, so
You said all orifices. I imagine she at
He
least
said
had that
most.
done.
He said most. He didn't say all.
almost was the disclaimer from the get-go. So the shadow elf just kind of rolls her eyes a little bit, goes back to her sword polishing. Your place is in good hands. You paid for very good people. Or rather, your lawmaster did. It's like, yeah, these folks all do delving work with me on occasion. You could call us an adventuring group of some kind. They were all preoccupied back when we went on our own particular expedition. So either way,
Got a name for your group? Got a name for your group?
nah. All free spirits and that. It's like, Finley has no shortage of suggestions on occasion. So that I do. I'll think of a good one for next time, though. It has to be for a special occasion. You put me on the spot.
What is your legal name for your group? Because we had to pick one of those.
Oh, we're just, Schmeffrey just kind of looks over to the side, kind of twiddling his thumbs a little bit. The goblin Chaws just kind of sighs and rubs his temple a little bit. We're known as... Oh, it hurts actually to say out loud.
Rana leans
Okay.
forward, very interested. She needs to hear this shit now.
We're known as the Schmenderizers.
Yeah, that's a big hearty laugh, both in and out of character.
Oh, yep.
So, yeah, not my finest moment. I had a bit of food brain at that moment in time.
Grosk sagely.
Well, frankness, I'm only
And
with
then
you because
once
no one else
more tries to look up a word in her dictionary.
would take it. It's like the shadow elf just kind of rolls her eyes there. Just, yes, I'm have a little trouble finding applications to work elsewhere sometimes. But that said, the horrendous, grotesque name aside, we are all rather capable of handling ourselves. You're in good hands. Say, yeah, we'll do our best, the goblin says. No promises, but that's just the goblin and me talking, I guess. It's like, oh, come on now, Charles, no need for that. All right, so you all just go about your business, pack together your belongings, halt. Any instructions that you find so valid? Any pets you need fed or any things we need to mind? So I don't want you to come back and the place be destroyed on our account. Or we'd have to pay for that.
Yes, we got a few.
He's all
plants.
right. Gross grabs the one stick weapon she has, the glaive, and a blanket, and she ties a bindle around it.
Hobo Gross.
We know how to pack.
I can clearly see that you are in good hands with yourself.
Irana quickly tells them that there's going to be some very strange plants being delivered. There should be care instructions with them.
Chaz, actually, the goblin, takes those instructions. He goes, oh, you're a customer of Violet's. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can handle that just fine.
Okay. You know Violet?
We have friends in common, I guess. She's helped me with a couple of horticultural needs in the past.
Oh, cool. I stopped one of her plants from dying and she gave me stuff for free.
Oh, you smoked the ganja.
So the goblin just stares at you, just wall-eyed for a split moment. Mouth just a complete frigid straight line. Yes. Yes, I do.
Out of character, which brand?
He's not going to tell you that.
Violet's, obviously. She's got the good shit.
Man,
Periwinkle Fatality, Stink Meter's Stankweed, all the good kinds.
yeah, good shit. All right, so anything else you guys are particularly leaving behind or grab, since you don't know exactly how long you'll be gone?
I'm just gonna grab all the traveling stuff that I bought, like the bedroll and whatever.
Gotcha.
Ross puts her entire inventory in her bindle.
Nice. I mean, you guys do have a bag of holding now, so.
Kyra, which? What the bloody hell? You hear from the room. As Kyra just now realized she has that.
Yeah, packing stuff in your extra satchel, and all of a sudden you realize it has so much more room than you thought. Best part is that the antique shop owner just gave it to you.
Alright, I guess I'm living with this now.
All right, anyone else?
No pillows. I paid money for those.
Nice. Got to travel in
So
style.
Kyra's getting her proper adventuring gear on
Mhm.
after taking a shower. You get
Yes.
all off.
Not all of it comes off, though. Some of it sticks with you forever. You might just be Lady Macbething yourself a little bit in the long run, or you might not. I don't know.
I think that requires a wisdom save.
Nah, I'm not going to do that to you. All right, so
Out damn spot.
all right, so
Yeah. If it's not her khakis, Kyra wouldn't bother because she knows that's there forever.
yep, there's no getting that out. All right, so that's funny. Okay, so you guys have all your things together.
Yes.
Anything extra you can store in the bag of holding? It can hold a lot.
So yeah, Kyra's gonna bring that up to the group. Might have an additional. Kyra shows the bag of holding.
You
Like-
demonstrate its properties.
Yes.
How so?
Kyra pulls out extreme convenience. Wait a minute, I should put that in that. Then she pulls out the other. Then she pulls out a machete.
Yeah, good plan. You have no idea what would happen. That's crossing the streams bullshit, man. Okay, so you stick the machete down in there with vigor, and it just goes in down past your wrist, and there's just no sign
And
of
you
tear
see
at
her
all.
put her whole arm in there.
And there's no sign of tear at
And
all.
she pulls out extreme convenience again.
All right, as you pull your arm out, you do notice that your skin is slightly frosty.
It's cold in there. Ugh.
But the machete looks fine, looks normal. Nothing wrong with it. Nope. All right, so
Void.
Hell, you say? Put some food in there.
yep, it's a refrigerated bag of holding. It's a cooler.
Score.
Score, hell yeah!
Yeah, I guess we should put some food and water and stuff in there.
All right. As you guys head into the kitchen, you find Stan is in there helping put some together. He kind of just solemnly nods at you. Just, I heard all about what happened. Don't you worry. We'll make sure this place is in good shape for you when you come back. I wasn't sure how long you'd be gone or anything, but he pulls out a picnic basket.
Aww.
Ah, yes, a picnic basket.
No.
So you should find some good home cooked food in here. Like, Uncle taught me a thing or two back when I worked at the bar. So best of luck to you, whatever y'all wind up doing. I hope you come back even more whole than you were before. We'll do what we can. I don't think anybody. I mean, I've got to look at those people who are assigned to guard the place. Yeah, gave me quite a fright with that big black dog at that once. Was not expecting that. Of course, got to say the real one though. There's something off about that goblin. Something real off.
You are racist.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you may be right about that. I suppose I haven't met too many goblins. Just makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when I look at them. And I got a lot of fur, so it's not exactly something I can hide.
Oh, you need to stop. You need to stop talking. Oh, boy. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I ain't no good at goodbyes. So, best of luck to y'all. We'll make sure the place is in good shape when you come back.
All
Thank
right,
you,
you
Stan.
take care.
I am currently putting what Kyra all has with her, and not her total inventory.
We need to find cultural sensitivity seminar for him. He has problem. Goblin.
Jeez.
No, he's right. There is something wrong with me, the goblin says. He's somehow behind all of you. He's scarred.
Oh, Jesus.
God damn it!
What's not that?
I'd rather not go into details, but I did warn him about a couple of things. I suppose by extension, I should warn all of you too. He pulls out the axe he was polishing earlier, looks back at Stan and looks back at all of you and just goes, under absolutely no circumstances, if you value your health, should you touch this. It's not good for you. Not good for you at all.
Yes, it's covered in urine.
Correct. And he sheathes the axe and walks back into the other room. As soon as he turns the corner, he just disappears. All right, so as you guys enter the parlor, there's a knock at the door.
I guess I go answer it.
Yes, you do. All right, as soon as you do, you are immediately swept up in a giant fuzzy hug as the cat folk you literally just met earlier today, Mitzi, comes in and just immediately has you up in a very tight hug. Oh, hon, I heard everything. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm okay. She just kind of hangs there like, okay, this is my life now.
So, like, I heard all about the attack. It must have been just absolutely dreadful. Like, tell me, any of y'all heard? Anything go on? Anything happen?
Kyra has still has somewhat of a mile yard stare.
Gonna see if she notices that.
Kyra's
Being a
had hard
cat,
day.
she's...
We won victory against great foe. Now we must go on run because mob is chasing.
Oh, I heard. The lawmaster told me all about that. Never actually met him before. But he told me to find the best job I could for all y'all as far away from the city as possible. Thankfully, there happened to be one right there at that exact moment. In fact, she looks out at the door. It's like they sent a messenger to say this personally.
That is not suspicious at all.
It's like, yep. That is you. So, and the door opens wider, and you see, well, Shady, our first guest star of the campaign. Describe yourself.
All right. So, in comes a Kenku. This Kenku has Kia traits, most notably a realistic Kia-like head, sitting on top of not really broad shoulders. He's wearing a fancy-looking hat, sort of like a firefighter's hat, but not really, and a black and red outfit with brown pants and black shoes that have claws cut out so his toes can go through easily.
All
He's wearing
right.
spats like Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, indeed. He has a tail. He has wing-like feathers on his arms, and bright blue eyes or bluish eyes.
Mhm.
Hello, good chums. I have been sent to get you in order to deal with a problem we've been having. Let me get the note I was given.
We can do that on the road, Mitzi says, kind of gently patting you in the shoulder. This little, slightly shorter than you, tabaxi woman, honestly
Yes.
looks as wide as she is tall because she's just covered in shaggy brown Wookiee-esque fur.
And
Kind of pats you in the shoulder and just goes, "We'll talk about that on the way. We're instructed to get out of the city as quickly as possible."
oh, okay. Is everyone ready then?
Yes, I have Bindle.
Good,
Have I been put down?
Mitzi just now notices she's still holding you there with one hand. Surprisingly, she actually has a pretty good strength stat. It's like she gently puts you back down and just kind of dusts off your shoulders.
It
Alright,
was fine. I like hugs.
Well, that's a very warm hug, I assure you of that. All right, so you guys all have your things together. You briefly depart out the door. Schmeffrey gives you a helmeted salute. It's like, "You're in good hands, I assure you. You've seen me fight."
Thanks for watching the place.
No problem at all. No promises on if anything breaks. I'll just pin it on one of them.
Oh,
If things get into a fight, things might get nasty. You've seen how it goes. I'll just get so mad. And the door shuts behind him. Well, in front of him. And as you guys step out into the front, you notice immediately that alongside Mitzi is an enormously fat lizard. I mean, like, this thing's probably the better part of 20 feet long, and it is covered in saddlebags. And hanging from its haunch, you see a little wooden cart.
Oh, we're
Good
riding
cart.
on it.
I've managed to pack enough essentials to keep us going. I'll be heading with y'all for this. As your handler, it's actually my job to come with you and make sure none of y'all fall into harm's way.
take my word for it. She is much better than the last handler. That fucker kept eating all the goddamn time.
Oh! But I declare that sounds most unprofessional.
She even stole my cheese. Like, who does that?
Certainly not me. You can count on that. I'm lactose intolerant.
Good. I like you better already.
Imagine also did Maxie when she said that looked at her shame.
Oh,
Sadly.
yeah, a little bit. It's like you see Dawn in the distance. You can vaguely see a tear going down his muzzle.
Yeah, I've known cats who steal cheese.
Yeah, mine do. Can't eat cheese.
All right.
Fucking furry face in my face.
Catfolk who can't get milk.
Oh, technically all cats are intolerant of milk. It's just people don't always mind that.
It's a stereotype.
They don't
Either way.
always care either.
These are sentient cat folk, and we drink like alcohol. I'm assuming it's equitably bad for us.
Yeah.
Probably,
magic.
yeah.
If I know anything from human health habits, it's that nothing is healthy for anyone ever.
Pretty much. Okay, so Mitzi briefly just kind of catches herself and goes, I suppose I ought to make introductions. Everybody, this is, she kind of cracks up a little bit. Just, can you tell me your name again?
Of course, I am the wonderful, the mighty, the glorious Keckles.
Cool.
I was just waiting to see what would happen on that.
It's nice to meet you, Keckles.
Nice to meet you too. Could I get your name? I don't want to just keep calling you by your race all the time. That's tongue twisting.
She holds out a hand and says, my name's Arana. It's nice to meet you.
He shakes it with vigor. Nice to meet you.
Not too much vigor. You have a good strength set. You might just fling her into the air.
Of course.
Hey, Arana has a stronger, higher strength than Kyra, so don't give me that shit.
You're a nerd, though.
You know what? That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's just natural.
Yeah, Tonk, Leadshell, happy to meet your acquaintance.
Good to meet you too. One with cannon on his back.
Keep forgetting about that thing.
I am Grosk, the mighty, the wonderful, the magnificent, the glorious Keckles.
Excellent.
Damn it.
It's gonna happen every time now.
That's a thing.
Oh,
Damn it.
Keckles is gonna enjoy that.
That's his full name now. Esquire. All right, so.
The second.
Which means there's a third.
He's just gonna keep adding on titles to see if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, so you guys make your way out.
Hey, not
Mitzi's-
everyone got introduced yet.
Yeah.
Yes,
like,
of course.
Isn't someone an eager beaver?
You say to the sky voice.
There is beaver? Where? They have tender meat.
I keep seeing it every now and again.
I don't
I
think
tried to
Palumi
go
or Kyra
near.
got.
Yeah.
Nope, neither of them did.
Who is the nerd and the fluff ball?
I resemble that remark.
Oh, terribly sorry.
Oh, hon, you don't have to be so hard on. Oh, wait, you're doing that on purpose. Okay. Mitzi makes a note of that. Comfortable in own skin.
I'm Kyra.
Nice to meet you. Indeed.
Please don't take that voice where you took it the last time.
Don't you make me summon that voice.
Oh.
Zidane.
All right,
I do
and-
love you.
Stop.
And last but not least, you see the fluffy little winged kobold darting around the fringes of the group. Pretty close to Tonk, I would say.
Always.
Carrying just an enormous pile of pillows. Very
That's
garish
a-
orange pillows that you can't
But
miss.
it's giant, but it's very light because it's pillows.
Yep. Just these giant, garishly orange pillows.
Of course. Gotta travel in style. I approve of your pillows, little bat thingamajig.
We should have put that in the bag of holding, but alright.
No. I'm gonna show them on. They're beautiful.
Oh, this one's Tana Dancer.
No! No! Not another one!
Despite
You can't
requests,
follow
it's
me. You
never
can
hold
call
me closer.
Palumi, please. Do not.
Okay, not tiny dancer.
No!
Large dancer. Gargantuan dancer.
Huge dancer!
Colossal dancer!
Maximal over dancer!
Oh my god!
She should have gone for the turbo dancer.
Sorry, you react too good
Alright,
to
we
that.
should get a move on before the mob comes in and tries to kill us again. While the Sky
Wait.
Voices are shitting
Yes,
on
they
it.
have torches and pitchforks.
Wait, what? Wait, what about mob?
Horrible mob is trying to kill us like Frankenstein.
Dare I
don't think
ask why?
I don't think that's canon.
Not this universe.
They're a bunch of shithead slavers. We kind of let go some of their stock.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. I approve of what you did.
And speaking of that, we ought to get out of the city as quick as possible. I've arranged for some reliable transportation up at the surface. Come on, let's get moving now. So
Tally ho!
she just kind of jerks on the lizard. It's not moving right this exact second. It's very content to just stay right where it is.
Are you sure you want to go with that sentence?
Yes. Steering to the
Jerking
skid.
on the lizard.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's like, all right, Albie, come on, come on. Just kind of slowly turns around and waddles after her with very large, chubby legs. So, believe it or not, most of this is waterways. It's how they manage to survive out in the deserts. Speaking of which, I hope all y'all have a means of providing hydration. You're going to need it.
Oh, we're going
Yes.
back out in the desert.
I have Bindle.
Have the flask of ever-flowing water.
Yep. Do you show that?
Um,
You demonstrate it.
I'll take I'll jiggle it and go, oi, got one of these. Oh,
And water just continues to flow out. So it's like,
pure water. Doesn't sound like it, though.
that is just downright queer, Mitsu says. So, but that'll work. That'll do the job just fine. Magical means excellent.
Mhm.
All right.
Always
let's
good
get
to have magic on your side.
All right, so you guys make your way up to the main elevator shaft, head your way up to the surface of back to the gate you first entered from. It's a relatively quick, eventless trip. You're moving with a bit of haste as fast as you can with that giant-ass lard lizard trailing behind you a few feet. Alfie, Mitz called it. All right. You get up to the gate, and you, as you approach, you are met with a. See, what did I have written here for this? Right. You actually meet a rather interesting-looking fellow. It's a Aarakocra, but his wings are actually really tiny on the back, and he's got a bizarre-looking beak that's actually very very vertically long and has a slit in the middle where he speaks. This is an axe beak Aarakocra.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
So like, there you are, Mitz. There you are. So like, there you are, Hal. Don't worry. You arranged the transportation. I know it was kind of extreme circumstances, but you're really good in a rush. That I am at that. So I take it these are the cargo needing to be transported out, he says with a very pronounced finger quotes. So, name's Hal. Hal Hatchett. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It's like, all right, so it was a bit short notice, but I did manage to find enough roadrunners to accommodate your needs. They are a bit of the common stock, so don't expect them to run all day. Unfortunately, he looks over at Grosk, kind of gives her a brief up-down. Said, this one's a bit big for most of my common ones, so I had to get one of my, well, it's better for you to see for yourself. He paces around over to a nearby paddock and around the walls of the city, and as soon as you step out, that familiar, soft, gentle, temperate breeze that all of you had gotten so used to in the past couple of weeks, it's gone, and you're in a fucking desert.
Oh, that transition's got to be hell.
Like, you start sweating, and it just immediately gets taken away by the hot air. Except for those of you who don't sweat. It's like,
No. Oh, sorry.
so Hatchet kind of leads you on over, just taking a look at all of you, and you approach a little paddock where you see a few kind of modest looking. Compared to the ones Racco had you ride, these dire Roadrunners look very plain, very ruddy looking, very blended feathers. They're just kind of pacing around silently, armed with all their saddles and gear on, just going beep, 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 beep. And there's one in the back that is kind of brooding and skulking away from the others a little bit. So, like, yeah, I'm not exactly proud of this one. Thought he had some good genes in him, how big boned he was. Thought he'd make a good stud someday, but well, that turned out to not be muscle. And it turns around and there is just this really, really tubby looking one who paces over towards you. Just,
Can you make that noise again?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Diabetes had a sound.
Holy shit.
so this is the only one I've got. I'm sure accommodate, well, your stature, looks over at Grosk. I mean, no offense, you're just very tall.
Okay. Grosk
All
will
right.
take Coyote Killer.
So, how did you know his name?
No, that's just what my people call this species.
Well, his name is CK, so.
Oh god! Oh god!
Ah.
I've been waiting for that one.
I don't even want to know.
Louis C.K.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, now it will definitely be slaughtered for road meat, actually.
He's got plenty of meat. He may not even notice. All right, so the rest of them are all pretty well tempered, kind of very gentle, even. One of them's kind of meek compared and a little bit shy to the approach. But eventually, they all allow you to get up on top of them. CK in particular takes a little bit, just because it's not so much the getting down part. He just has a hard time getting back up on his feet.
Can I roll animal handling for the shy one?
You certainly can.
Because Irana likes giant birds. Hold on.
Jesus
Good
fuck.
sound. Dude,
Jesus
that-
fuck, you're pissed off about rolling well again?
Well, no, I gotta freaking take a goddamn screenshot and save it.
It's called print screen and paste.
Oh, yeah,
You hit the
can I-
print screen button, then you hit paste.
Yeah, can I just paste it directly into...
You can.
Yeah.
I want
So
to see
you-
this.
So yeah, you press the print screen button,
There it
and
is.
then you just right click. Yeah.
Yep, that's the stuff. Okay, yeah. The kind of meek, shy one has kind of slightly more dainty feathers. It's a little bit touchy, doesn't exactly take well to the reins, but as you get close, you hold out your hand, you totally whisperer this thing. It just gradually comes to accept you. It's like, I'll be damned. Sadie's usually not very good around people.
Oh, his name is Sadie.
Yep.
I like birds.
It's like, well, they clearly like you. It's like, although I may have to get to know you a bit better first, Hatchet says with a slight wink.
Irana kind of just giggles behind her hand.
All right, so that should be everything you need, Mitzi. I even got Alpha requested block and tackle like you asked. You're heading where now exactly? And Mitzi just kind of, you could see her fur is kind of hanging low. She kind of looks like a wet mop right now, a little bit from the sweat, but she's dealing with it surprisingly well. You can tell this is not her first time out here. Kind of puts her fist in her palm and goes, oh, that's right. I never even explained. Agni asked me to take the job furthest away from the city at your level that y'all could handle, and since y'all are just now entering into it, that took a little bit of carousing. Fortunately, Mr. Keckles here came by right at the moment I needed him.
I'm trying to think of the word here. but I have good timing like that. It's in the blood.
Clearly. Either way, we're heading back to his homeland, up north a little ways to that old Madrian city-state, Rockfort.
Indeed. A wonderful place, wonderful.
Is that the place where I'm not really?
You immediately have some flashbacks in your head, specifically to one city in that region, Fort Limburg.
Oh. Well, this is a...
Is it? She's gonna ask. Is it anywhere near there? Trying not to be, too suspicious about it, I guess.
All right. Could you roll?
She doesn't think she's done anything wrong, but they clearly did. So.
All right. I'm just gonna roll an insight for her then, see if she understands. It's a 17. Man, I'm actually rolling good tonight with the physical dice. All right. Yeah, she kind of. It's like, I won't pry into your business, dear. You're part of the guild now, so technically you're untouchable. But to answer your question, she leans in. We ain't going anywhere near there. It's like Fort Limburg's the big provincial area. We're just going to one of the farming hamlets, Brigadoon.
She just kind of relaxes in the saddle again. It's like, oh, okay.
So I'll tell you all about it as we get on the road. Now, the sooner we get away from the city, the better. So you all are mounted atop your mounts of choices. Keckles, what are you riding?
That's a damn good question.
You can have one of the Roadrunners if you so choose, but if you wanted to mount of your own, you can choose so.
I think for now, I'll ride the Roadrunner simply because my mount's back at home.
Good plan. All right, so. And with that, like Mitzi just kind of urges Alfie forward. The giant lizard kind of waddles. All right, Alfie, let's get moving now. She flicks the reins, and the lizard just fucking takes off. Okay, I don't know if it's not the greatest movie, but if anyone saw the 2012 adaptation of John Carter, Princess of Mars, kind of how their adaptation of Woola, the little alien dog creature, was. This thing moves at a very similar speed to that on the sand. Takes off like a fucking bullet.
Okay.
And the Roadrunners just immediately go, beep, 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 beep. Except for CK, who's kind of hanging behind watching them for a brief moment.
Oh.
He just kind of sighs and takes off running out.
Aww.
He was not looking forward to running. Kind of wish they'd warned him first. All right, you guys move at a very brisk pace through the desert, and thank goodness, because it is a scorcher today, not a cloud in the sky. The breeze from the rapid pace feels rather nice, you have to admit. It helps. It helps quite a bit. So you find very quickly as you get out into the more arid areas that this place was not always a desert. You're used to seeing desert foliage, fauna, like the flora and fauna adapted to the region, but there's nothing out here. Any trees you find are withered, old, deciduous trees that just couldn't survive. Any rocks you find, any buildings you find, pretty much all of it looks like it was originally just a nice temperate climate. But that's just the way it is out here.
Goddamn Iron City.
All right, so.
Shady, that's what you can ride. Bare bones.
All right, so you guys are all taking off strides. That's right, yeah. Technically, you guys had already had a pretty full day even by the time the attack came, so the sun's actually already starting to set pretty quickly.
Thank God.
So, as you guys...
Kyra may have been preemptive with the shower.
You may have it that. All right,
damn it,
so...
it felt good.
Yeah, that moisture's gone. You guys can choose to stop at any time. How would you guys like to travel? as quickly as possible, stopping whenever one of you gets thirsty. You have an infinite source of water, so I
I don't
imagine you
think
guys.
Kekos hasn't explained to us what what we're here to do, so we don't know if it's urgent or we just want to get out of the city for a while.
So
We don't know
obviously, the
jack.
smart thing for us to do is just to ride in a direction, any direction, just for a really long time before determining what we're actually doing and what our goal is. So that's what we do. For 7 straight hours, as a group, we just ride in a direction.
Nice.
The handler and Keckles
Alright.
know where they're going, right?
Yes, they do.
Mhm.
Mitzi's been that way before as well. You guys are Alfie's lead. Eventually, as the sun starts.
Riding checks at all, or are you used to this shit now?
No, you've done it before. You're fine. I'm not gonna force
Even
that one
a
on you
riding
just yet.
check in this. There's no riding check in this version of D&D.
Or
There's animal handling, or they're technically vehicle check, but that more so applies to carriages. So
Okay.
you're fine. I'm not gonna make you do it.
Also do a dex saving throw not to fall off.
You guys have done it before. You were ready for the kick this time. And these, again, like I said, are not nearly as pedigree as the Racco had. Those were show birds like race horses. These are just common ones you can find in a stable anywhere. All right, so as the sun begins to hang low over the desert, the temperature immediately begins to change. You come upon, surprisingly, the ruins of an old farm. It's like the building just largely bleached white, left to rot. The wood just can barely ain't holding itself together. It looks like one good solid poke and it would disintegrate. But that said, it's still shelter. It's a dried up old well there, old field that's now covered in sand. Mitzi brings Alfie to a stop as it begins to get dark. Goes, Rockfort is about this pace we're going, probably about a day and a half's ride.
Mhm.
So we should get there day after tomorrow at the rate we're going now. Be very early, or we can just ride straight through the night. But personally, I'm going to recommend we stop here and make camp for a time. It's a little dangerous out here in the desert.
probably wise. Some sort of shelter.
Mhm. Gotta keep up our energy.
Alrighty then. She slides off of Alfie, who you notice has actually slimmed down a little bit since they took off into the desert. She wasn't kidding about that largely being weight. He's like a reptilian camel.
So what? She's riding a fucking great Jagras.
Kinda, sorta, but lumpier. Kind of looks a bit more like a hellbender salamander.
A great lumprus.
That's not a bad name, actually. I gotta write that down. Alright, so you all begin immediately setting out. It's like anything you guys wish to do now that you've dismounted. There's a little corral area for you to keep your mounts. This farm actually still is relatively put together, except for the itself.
Kara just is glad to get off the bird and actually walk around.
Yeah,
Alrighty then.
Jelly.
when Rana actually gets off, she just kind of goes through the motions of what you do when you get off a horse. You just check their feet and whatever for
Mhm.
birds, but the bird
Aw.
version.
Oh. Alright. Roll a investigation in that check, case.
Also, Kara's going to be looking around the farm.
Sure thing, sure thing. Alright, so
Ruin.
yep. Alright, that's 2 investigation checks then. 18, not bad. Okay. You actually do notice on Sadie's ankle where there's a little leather brace there is a tiny little, almost looks like a little cactus bit on there, which is weird because you didn't see any the whole time you were around on the ride. But there's one little tiny one in her ankle. Doesn't seem to be causing her pain, but it's there.
Yeah, I put on some gloves and take it off.
Very good, very good.
I don't trust that shit.
All right, good. You pluck out the little cactus bit. What do you do with it? Just toss it aside, move it out of the can step on it.
I kind of look at it and I bring it to Sadie's, or not Sadie's attention, Mitzi's attention. It's like, where did she even get this?
All right, I'm gonna roll for Mitzi on that one. She just grabs it. It actually kind of gets caught in her fur a little bit, so that leads to a couple minutes of her trying to fish it out.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's a 2. No, she does not know. It's like, that is peculiar. There normally ain't anything like that growing out here. Nothing's really had the time. Only place you'll see stuff like this is way out east, out in the Yaga Plains or the Sand Seas, places that were deserts before the drought. Maybe it blew in on the wind. Maybe someone brought one in. Maybe it was from the city. I don't know how she made it this far with that on her ankle, though.
Weird, I guess.
Well, I'll hold on to it if you so choose. I happen to know a good recipe for these.
Random cactus.
All right, so
Did she
Kyra,
step
you
on a
will-
cactuar?
I certainly hope not. Those are really hard to hit. I don't think you guys could handle 1,000 needles right now. All right, so back to Kyra's check. You're just kind of
Which was
okay.
a 19, by the way, people listening.
I see this, yes. All right, so you're just kind of, how exactly are you pacing around? How close are you? Everyone else is kind of
Like
edge
she said,
farm building itself, building a little fire.
in the building, not like in like the distant farmstead. Just looking around the building, see if she could recognize anything or find anything interesting
all right.
or nerd-worthy. Just
With a
trying to get her
19.
mind off of, hey, earlier today I killed a man.
Yeah, understandable. Okay, so with a 19, let me see here. Walking inside, you can see that there really isn't much left of this place. It looks like the people who lived here had time to get everything and get out. It's more of a Dust Bowl scenario than a sudden sandstorm overtaking everything.
Right up.
These people probably fled to Epton. You don't even really see that much in the way of keepsakes. But as you approach one of the windows, you do see, roll perception for me.
Oh boy, here we go. Thankfully, I have Dungeon Delver, so I can roll perception passively while going at a single pace, not at a slow one.
Nice.
That's another 19.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, yeah, you definitely see this. Okay, you see a brief flash of light across a nearby sand dune, just for like a split second. And immediately following behind it, you hear a roaring sound, a very familiar roaring sound. It sounded like Racco's motorbike, except a lot angrier.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
It was very far away, so
That.
yeah, you all do after a brief moment, just kind of echoing. It takes a few seconds, actually. It must have happened a bit further away than you thought. Just this little streak of light. It almost like a shooting star in terms of actual thickness and brightness, but it's followed by a distant roar.
This is a Magni already? Could be Ronco?
Does this engine sound familiar to Tonk at all?
It does sound, like I said, it sounds a lot like Racco had, except it sounds angrier. There's a bit more combustion to it. Racco's was slightly on the cleaner side, a bit more of a smooth hum. Still had a really nice masculine edge to it, but this one just sounds angry. So that's about as familiar as it'd sound, but
And is it going more further away or closer to us?
further away.
Alrighty, so
It was a good distance away to begin with, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. All right, so everyone hears that. Everyone kind of gets quiet. So Mitzi just kind of sits down in front of the fire. Alfie just kind of lolling his long neck around, just kind of laying right in front of it, just wall-eyed looking up at her, anticipating treats.
Aww.
So, I one of the Magni riding this close is a bit unusual. Wonder what's got them so spooked lately. She opens up a few rations and hands them around. It's like, I got plenty, so help yourselves.
Caravan sits down next to fire and opens up her bag and reaches in to pull out the picnic basket. Pulls out Extreme Convenience again. Puts it to the side, then pulls out the picnic basket. It always thinks she's in need.
Aww.
You usually are, you freaking nerd.
To be fair, she killed a man today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for you, Kyra.
I'm the only one that's here for you.
Oh my god.
I'm here.
Maybe it's time you got rid of all those hangers on. So it could just be the two of us.
Hey, no. Extreme Convenience is a beneficial weapon. It is not cursed.
It came from Amigo. It would never do that. That would mean getting a bad review.
I'd never hurt you, Kyra.
That's right, I never would. Don't listen to that.
That bandito!
Take me to the chapel, Kyra. I will protect you spiritually.
I can offer all of your needs. All of them.
Oh my god.
Gosh, Mickey, it's time for you to go into the trash pit.
No!
It puts the lunch in the basket.
Yup.
All right, so
Moving
yes,
on.
enough of that out of character moment there. Okay, so
I don't need more nightmares that I'm going to have tonight.
well, it's been quite a long day for all y'all, I'm sure. Mitzi says, just kind of fiddling with a couple of knitting needles.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big day. Leave town, pack bindle, good times.
I take it you're a bit more used to defending yourself, miss.
Grosk has spent many a time out on the road.
It's a hard life, very hard life. I used to have to do it myself. Before I got the job with the guild, I used to run as a part of a carting service, freelance out east. Me and my brothers.
Great life.
No,
better
it's not.
ceiling
Not
than
really.
night sky of stars.
Maybe for you it was. For me, it was a collection of bad memories. People don't really like having us around as much at the carting place. Always makes people think that we're looking down on them. But I went legit. My brothers went into the music business. They're doing just fine now, so things worked out in the end. They tend to. She looks over at Kyra and just kind of gives you a gentle, warm, almost motherly nod.
Kyra wouldn't know what that looks like.
Oh.
Well, too bad.
She's
nerd,
got
you're
no
getting it.
family.
Too bad, Batman. You're getting this.
Hey. Now a sister punches the guy. Oh yeah, she knows exactly how that feels.
So, Mr. Keckles, why don't you explain a little bit of what exactly they were at? You came to ask of the guild.
Ah, yes. Let me get out my note. There. Let's see. Here it is. Here it is.
He pulls out a very meticulously well laid out pamphlet.
So, let me get my bearings. Pulls out a pair of glasses from nowhere. Hello. Insert name of guild here. We need your help. Stop. We are under siege. Stop. We don't know by what. However, recently, our crops and livestock have gone missing. Stop. And we need someone to get to the bottom of this. Stop. And that is why we chose you. insert name of guild here.
Does not seem like that group knows what term siege means.
Mm, they're kind of stressed out. You know, they're losing all the food. They have a festival coming up. It's not a good time.
Mitzi's eyes go really wide at that, and I'm talking like full cat dilation, laser levels of it, just something to attack. She's like, oh, that's right. Their harvest festival's coming up. I'm not used to it. I'm used to everything here in Epta by our own calendar. Oh, y'all are in for a treat then. This is a fantastic time of year to be up in that park. The leaves are starting to change. All the people bring out their best crop, the best prized livestock. There's games, prizes, costumes. It's fun. It's really fun.
It'll be, however, if we do not find the cause of these thefts, it won't be as fun. Sure, there will still be the costumes, but everyone will be hungry. That's not good. Not good at all.
No, indeed it is not. That actually sounds pretty urgent, all things considered. Surprised they didn't get one of the bigger groups to handle that. But hey, not that I don't have utmost faith in you. Y'all managed to resolve this, y'all be in good shape.
I'm curious to see how you guys do, in all honesty.
I mean, I won't lie, Mitzi says. I have yet to see them in action myself, but I've heard plenty of stories. So,
After everything Kyra's been through lately, she is suspicious of that note. Paranoia has now begun to set in.
Paranoia, paranoia, everybody's coming
No,
to
it's
get
countries of bugbears.
you.
They don't exist, Kyra.
Oh no.
That's just a fever dream you had as a go.
I'm sure we'll be able to pick out the culprit easily enough. But it'd be best if we do that getting some shut-eye first. We'll head out first light. I recommend, however, we take a watch. Just because this place used to be inhabited doesn't mean there ain't something unpleasant out there skulking around. I myself will take the first watch if you don't mind, but I think I could use maybe 2 people to relieve me. Divided up into 3 shifts.
I'll go with that.
Alrighty.
I don't think I'm gonna fall asleep for a while, so.
I can take a watch if somebody needs to go to sleep, though.
Mitzi looks over at Kyra and goes, Hun, I know y'all had a rough day, but even just laying down and resting will help. Trust me, I don't think you'd do so well watching out for things right now. You're liable to see things in every shadow. And when you see that, you're liable to miss the things that are actually dangerous.
Right.
So why don't you take Miss Arana up on her offer?
Right.
You go lay down.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, shady.
And Keckle's
No
face from
shame.
a distance.
We
Keckle's
go
got
abduct
snapped.
him. We need to go get more free samples.
Just imagine he
No,
walks over
it was
to
Gaucho.
No!
He should be back.
over to his bunk bed and just falls face first.
He just Family Guy falls. Just really loud bird snoring. All right, so
What?
Mitzi will take the first watch, and Tonk, you said you wanted to take a second.
Before
Lumi, were you
Kyrie-
going to join her?
As Kyra unbuckles all her shit, she notices that her machete still has blood on it, and there's a. So she puts it to the side.
Gotcha. Okay, so Mitzi takes the first watch. You all settle in for the night. The firelight is actually warming in light of it's a desert night. It's actually really chilly. There's less of a sense of safety that you had when you were with one of the friggin' Magni, so you can't help but be a little bit more aware of every little noise you hear off in the distance. You occasionally hear an odd howl, some sniffing noises, the sounds of sand moving with the wind, eerie whistles. With Mitzi, I'm going to roll perception for her a few times. Wow, that one. Way to go, Mitzi. All right, so
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we're boned.
A leaf blew
all
by,
right.
and she got distracted. It's a cat. It happens.
Yep. Yeah, there was a tumbleweed. It definitely held her attention. Kind of like, oh, what's that? Man, it's moving at such a funny speed. I bet I could catch that if I wanted to. Unfortunately, nothing happens. And she goes and she wakes up Tonk. It's like, your turn, huh? Many thanks for that. I'm going to go get me some shut-eye. Not that I need all that much of it. That's tabaxi or crepuscular.
No problem. I have a couple things to do anyways.
All right, then. So, for your watch, I'm going to need you to roll 3 perception checks and
Right.
whatever else you want to do in the meantime.
He's going to be reading his Dummy's Guide to Draconic Language.
Ah,
He's not going to do it the entire time because it defeats the purpose of fucking keeping an eye out.
that's fine. That's fine. You just kind of read it in. All right, so 3 perception checks.
Right. My perception of 1. Let's see how you go.
You volunteered for this, man. Whatever happens, happens.
These-
You have your night vision goggles.
That you do.
Actually, everybody has a night vision goggles except for the Tabaxi.
She doesn't need them.
No, exactly. Copy and pasting.
Tabaxi evolved beyond night vision goggles eons ago.
Damn.
12, a nat 20, and an 11.
Not bad, not bad.
Brave's
Okay.
getting a nat 20? What is this?
In session? Damn. All right, so
Oh.
I call it bullshit. Provide
It doesn't happen to be often. I did a full copy, motherfucker.
all right, so with you, the reading goes well. With that nat 20, I'm going to say your proficiency with Draconic goes up during a particularly peaceful moment. You're now a little bit above being able to order food. You now can do broken conversation, and you can actually understand the gist of what someone says. It's like at the point when you hear, and you're an English speaker, and you hear someone speaking in German, and you can pick out the sentence's structure and a few of the words.
Gotcha.
All right, so beyond that, with a 12 and an 11. Okay. With that tumbleweed comes back. Strangely enough, the wind didn't change direction. Just kind of rolls along the other way, keeping a pretty wide berth away from you guys, funny enough. At first, you're not even sure what it was. If it weren't for the night vision goggles, you wouldn't have been able to see it at all. Just kind of aimlessly moving. Doesn't appear to be stopping or changing its gait at all. Just kind of rolling along.
The tumbleweed is going against the wind?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm training the cannon on that motherfucker. Just keep an eye on it.
hmm Eventually, after about a moment, it goes over the nearby dune and disappears.
I'm gonna keep looking around in case, like, it's circled back around or some nonsense.
All right, all right. Did you roll one more perception for me then?
Will do. There we go. 15.
15. Okay, not bad. Okay, for a split second, you thought you saw it coming back around the same bend and peeking out at you, but it skitters away very quickly, and you realize it was actually a dire tarantula.
Yeah.
Fine with that. Tarantulas are good boys.
You've seen a few of them around. They're very skittish around fires, so not much to worry about with them. It was a young one, too. Probably like the size of a toy poodle.
Okay.
So it was a tarantula that was a tumbleweed, or
I don't know.
It was just like doing cartwheels across the sand, having a good time.
I've seen the spiders do that. They curl up and they just
They
roll
can?
down sand dunes.
Yeah, there's a spider that does that.
It's hilarious to see.
All right.
Just having
All
a
right,
good time.
so with that, your watch comes to an end. You can go wake up Arana now.
Just gonna lightly pat on each other. Oi, your turn.
She gets up and goes and sits, and
Sits by the fire.
yeah, she asked if he saw anything weird.
First, that was a tumbleweed that rolled around, but it's actually a little juvenile tarantula. Doesn't seem to mean any harm to nobody, but keep an eye out.
All right. Will do.
Over close to the fire, retract into shell, and sleep.
Nice. All right. Irana, anything you're doing, or
She's
either way?
she's mostly just keeping watch and, making sure that nobody's actually having any nightmares over there.
Mm-hmm. How is Kyra doing with this, by the way?
I don't know. What do you? How do you think she's handling this?
I imagine there's some tossing and turning a little bit if
Oh,
she
yeah.
managed to get to sleep at all, which I imagine after the sheer exhaustion of everything, she isn't even aware of when it happened, but it did. It's an exhaustion passing out kind of thing, less than falling gradually into sleep.
Yeah.
It's not the most pleasant thing. You can probably imagine that there are snakes and a lot of knives going through things, going through her head right.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay, so you have
Do I need
nothing
to
else.
break a wisdom save to keep her asleep, or?
I'm gonna say no need for that yet. In fact, actually, let's let her roll her perception checks first, then we'll get to that.
Okay. Oh, not bad. That 20 is unnatural.
Okay, mod 20 and 2 15s. That's good. That's real good. Okay, so at this point, it is probably close to 3 in the morning, I'd say. It's quiet out there. The wind's largely died down. Nothing's really showing itself as of yet. You can hear about the only sound, really, besides Alfie the lizard snoring and the occasional little bit. Like, CK is not a pleasant sounding sleeper, just kind of a over there nearby in the stables.
Okay. Do I notice
then-
anything, or?
You do, actually, for a brief moment. You suddenly start to hear something you heard a little bit earlier. You can hear that faint roaring sound again, except this time it's coming towards you guys. It's getting closer.
A duck.
Okay, well,
Alrighty, thank you.
she might know that that sounds like a Magni's bike, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that we shouldn't all be awake just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
she's gonna wake everybody up.
All right. Right before we get to that bit, Kyra,
Alright, what did I miss? Sorry, food.
Irana heard that motorcycle sound coming up a little bit closer this time
Ah.
later in the night. And for you, I'm gonna have you wisdom save for me real quick.
Oh, good. Alright, Kyle, let's see what your luck does for you. Not bad. That's a 16 plus a 4. That's a 19.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, yeah, you're pretty lucid for this then. It's almost like when you eat too much spicy food and you're not really sleeping, you're just kind of in and out. You're
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
having
Sorry.
the snakes and all that you're seeing a little bit on occasion. Sudden, a very large one coiling around you combusts and turns into nothing but bones and ash and fades away. And you see a very hellish landscape surrounding you for a brief
Oh.
moment, and a vertically oriented yellow eye staring right at you for a split second. Then you wake up. Just in time for all of you to suddenly hear this very deafeningly loud roar go by about 200 feet away from you, as this black motorbike just speeds by almost too fast for the eye to follow, leaving a trail of fire in the sand.
Is there anyone on the bike?
Yes. You don't get a very good look at them, but it's a shrouded figure.
So it's like fucking that Ghost Rider scene with the motorcycle and the riding horse run by and the lizard just gets turned into a skeleton.
Yeah, not too far from it.
How many Magni are there?
There are only 7 at any one given point in time, but they're in a bit of a unique spot right now. In fact, roll a knowledge history on that one.
Okay.
Anybody else who so chooses, because most of you by now know who met two of them.
It's a 7, so I'm going to say probably not.
I rolled
Yeah, you're-
22.
Yeah, well, you do have a friend who's a huge nerd for them, has a huge lady boner about them. So,
18 isn't bad, I suppose.
yeah, it's not bad at all. Okay, yeah, you've heard a couple of stories that the Magni went rogue about 20 years ago. One of them was a guy known as Horvath.
Oh.
He was a human man, very charismatic. He broke away because he didn't believe the Magni's way of doing things, of only responding to dangers after they happened, was the right way to do it, and has begun training somewhere out in the wilderness a civilian army. The other one was a much more nefarious, mysterious one, a tiefling named Eli Bell. Nobody knows exactly what happened or why he left, but he was one of their most powerful members. And after they killed Guayar, the infernal goddess of plagues, a demon lord, basically, something changed in him, and ever since he's just wandered the wasteland alone, and nobody's been able to really figure out why. And his bike was known to be enchanted magically to leave behind a trail of fire just like that.
Oh, fuck.
Fortunately, though, it seems he just passed you right by. He just kind of fades into the distance. The angry sounds of his machine just kind of sort of getting quieter and quieter, but you're going to be feeling that one in your diaphragms for a while. It was loud.
Mm.
It's like, I declare, I have never seen that before, Mitzi says, kind of rubbing one of her eyes. Like, that's who I think it was. He's so close to the city that he's either stupid or mad.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Eli Bell is the most wanted man on the country. There's no way in hell he'd actually get that close. There's way too much of a chance someone could see him. I mean, he knows we were there. He has to have. We had the fire up. Maybe we all ought to take a Moses. We're all up. I make better time that way. I'd rather not linger.
Of just randomly attacking people?
No, not that I'm aware. To be completely frank, all I know is that wherever he goes, people end up dead. Stories as to how and why, well, nobody survives to tell them. So, not 100% sure of that myself. But everything I've heard ain't good. The Magni want him dead. Thing is that I don't even know if they could do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be here if he comes back then.
Yeah, you and everyone else. All right then, everybody.
I do like his cool metal bike. What if we stole his bike?
I
That
think
magic-
Magni know how to make them work.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, Mitzi says. Just kind of not exactly, they're kind of attuned to each and every one of them. Kind of a bond between man and machine or something. I'm not actually sure. Maybe that's just a story they say to keep people from stealing them. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Either way, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, probably not. They're gunslingers. Not exactly kind of people you want to wrong, especially ones who know everyone and have that connections all over the continent. But y'all know that. Y'all met a couple of them, didn't you?
Anyways,
Well, then yes.
Tyra is still perturbed by that eye that looked at her.
Mm-hmm.
She got Sauroned.
A little bit for a split second there. All right, so it's a shame Shady poofed out all of a sudden like that. I imagine his connection probably futzed.
I heard like crackling, so might have been thunder.
Yeah.
Might have been.
A crackle with cackle.
Crackles. All right, so
Crackle the cackle.
I'll roll for him from here on out. I've got his sheet. Okay, so as you guys are standing there getting all your shit, you pack up with a great deal more haste than you normally would have, and you begin to make your way down the desert paths again. The Roadrunners were also pretty antsy and eager to go. Even CK is actually putting in more effort than he was before.
Ah, good. He's learning how to be proper mount.
Brr.
All right, so
How well is he carrying Gross, considering all the extra tonnage on that bird?
pretty well, actually. He's a big boy, very stocky. It's just he's not quite as much built for speed. That is a thing to get angry about. All right, so
Be right back. I have to go do something. Ow.
sure thing. Don't worry, nothing big's gonna happen. All right, so I say that, but
So the Magni turns around and you're all fucked.
it's like rocks fall, everyone dies. All right, so
In open sky?
yes. As you guys advance forward and get your pack together, those of you here, roll perceptions again.
Hold on, I need to get a fat cat off of my lap. Cat!
That is a most worthy cause.
Don't
Get a roll for
Don't
Mitzi as
cling.
well.
cling.
And Mitzi.
You said perception
Okay.
check?
Yes. Oh, wow. Mitzi rolled a nat 20. Nice.
Oh, not bad.
In here.
Except for one.
Yep.
I got
Good thing I didn't have anything happen during her watch. 21, 15. Nice, nice. 15 again.
Just
I got nat 20 as well. Yay.
Yay. Okay, so yeah, 2 nat 20s. Honk, you and Mitzi immediately notice inside there are a bunch of cacti that weren't there before. They have little faces, and they're running down the hill towards you.
Motherfucker.
Fuck.
They're making these little squeaky sounds, but as they get close, you guys brace yourselves, weapons drawn, preparing to be attacked. They all run past you. And from out of the sands comes out a giant scorpion. Roll initiative.
Oh, you bitch.
You bitch. Spells and whatnot back.
Yes, that was a long rest.
Okay.
Okay, that's just making sure.
Okay, let me roll for Mitzi and the
Oh,
scorpion.
There we go. Really likes 12s and 11s today.
Yeah, funny enough, that's a common roll. Okay, so. Oh, not bad, Mr. Scorpion. Not bad. Okay, the Scorpion rolled an 11. Mitzi rolled a 4. Jeez.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Initiative. A giant. You got bum rushed by a mob of cactus people that are being chased by a giant scorpion.
Oh. Guy rolled the 19 plus 4, so
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so
that would be a 23, I think.
And
Nice.
now we must fuck the scorpion.
Okay, so-
No.
Irana, that 14 is you.
15.
15,
Wait,
okay. Okay.
Ray's got another nat 20.
Earlier during the perception to see the cactus people, yes.
Oh.
They were just kind of standing there watching all of you, but then they suddenly took off running right towards you, ran past you, and a giant scorpion came out of the sands. Scorpion, I'd say probably about the size of a saltwater crocodile.
Irana has flashbacks to a previous life.
Attacked by a scorpion and several insects.
There you go.
Shady,
Glad
we're
you can
fighting
make
a
it
giant
back.
scorpion. Shady, we're fighting a giant scorpion.
Roll initiative.
Hold on. I gotta pull up the internet again. I
What you
mean,
need to do, dude. Take your time. Sorry your net fucked up on you.
I blame the state fair.
I blame
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus hogs all the good bandwidth. Using his website, Yahweh.
It's how we came back 3 days after his death or whatever.
That's not even my joke.
My
dad gives me
the best Wi-Fi.
I don't care if it's not your joke or not. It's a good one.
Dude, it's heaven. All Wi-Fi's. There's no load time.
Yeah, I imagine heaven's Wi-Fi is perfect.
Well, yeah,
At least
because
any
after
heaven I
Pi
go
is
to.
going to hell.
Straight to hell.
Yeah,
Hell's
no,
Wi-Fi
no.
works. It's just super slow, so it might as well not work.
Yeah, you can't get any.
Hell
input
has
whatsoever when
dial-up.
you do-
Oh God.
Oh,
All right, so
That hurts, man.
that
Hold on.
physically hurt me. All right, so rolling initiative is the same as Pathfinder. Just add your damage to what you roll. All right, I'm going to compile the list here. This might take me a brief moment. Shit, where's my pencil? Oh no.
Got-
There it is. Okay, so this page.
okay. I don't have any buffs to initiative. Let me. Ah,
It's
that's good.
Dexterity. So you have a +3 to it?
3. You should have a +3, yeah. Okay,
Hold
so
on, let me check.
D20 plus
Yeah.
Dex.
Frost goes first.
Kyra would go second, I would imagine.
Yep, in this case, yes.
Not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so next up is.
Hold on, someone's calling me. One moment, please hold.
Don't worry about it. All right, so rolled an 11. Mitzi rolled a 4, so she's going pretty low on the order. 15. All right.
Anyway, back.
All right. Okay, you are going just after the cactus folk.
Oh, Joel. So that was a cat.
Wait, we're fighting Cactus Folk too?
They're in the initiative. They're technically still on the field of battle. You don't know what they're about yet.
But you do know they're delicious.
Scorpion clearly thinks so. They normally eat meat.
So shouldn't, since we're all on the, are we all on the birds and moving?
No. You guys were just preparing to. Birds are all out of their paddock, so they're kind of right in the line of fire. As is Alfie, Mitzi's lizard, but honestly, it's bigger than the scorpion is. So
So we just feed the scorpion to the lizard.
okay, so let me just post this up here. Okay, that should do it. All right, the layout of the land is the derelict barn and farming areas to you guys' left. Advancing down the dune is the giant scorpion, moving at its full breakneck speed. The cactus people are all kind of behind you now. And mounts are all kind of scattered around the fire and farm area. Most of them are not exactly looking happy. This is a very big predator that just showed up. Okay,
Are all the cactus people cactars?
They don't exactly look like cactars. They don't have the crooked limbs or anything, and they actually have faces instead of gaping black voids.
A bit more like kind of like cactus dryad sort of things.
However,
Sort of.
like a cactar, they do have giant dangling cactus penises.
And technically cactus vaginas at the same time. Plants are hermaphroditic like that.
Yeah.
So there are a
Alright, so-
couple who have distinct genders.
Are we ready?
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Great. I see there's a big fucking scorpion.
Grosk rushes off to CK,
Mhm.
takes off the bindle part of her glaive, mounts CK, and heads towards the scorpion as fast as the Roadrunner will take her.
They have a movement speed on land of 80, so you're going to get right there. You get as close to that thing as you want.
If I still have an action left, she's gonna attack.
You do.
Bullshit. Nat 20.
wow.
Jesus.
Yeah,
What
that
is going on?
That's 3 in the session. What
Jesus.
And I've only
fuck?
rolled that once. You have
All right.
gotten my luck today. Enjoy.
Sounds like you've had a bad day the dice are trying to make up for, GT.
A little bit. All right, so the dice are just as pissed about the Fuchsia City thing as you are.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, I had a perfect team too. Son of a bitch!
Okay.
That does hit, by the way.
All right. 14 damage.
14, not bad, not bad. Yeah, you take out the new glaive. It's a +1, so you actually would add that to the damage as well if you didn't already. One second.
Isn't that 14 doubled because it was a crit?
Yep.
Is,
It would be.
is that already been doubled?
Oh,
or-
yeah, it would be doubled to 28.
28. Yeah, no, you really hit it hard. Jab the glaive right in between a couple of plating points.
Like Goku.
Yeah, do some calculations here. Go do some math.
The most evil subject.
Yeah, no, he felt that. You cut off a couple of his legs with that swing of that glaive. It is a very, very nice glaive. So yeah, he took that hit pretty good. It just kind of skitters back and forth a little bit, stopping its forward charge. And actually, you kind of tripped it a little bit with the glaive. So it kind of stumbles all over itself for a second, gets up, just kind of looks over at you, snips its pincers a couple of times, stinger raised. Now understanding it's got company. Okay, Kyra, unless there was something else Grosk wanted to do.
Nope, that's it.
All right.
Kara doesn't know what to do. Like she's covering like her cactars everywhere. She got caught really off guard. Because her main instinct was to hide, but she has no machete. But she does have extreme convenience.
That she does.
Kara looks at it, steals herself, aims at the scorpion.
Oh no.
That's a nat one!
Don't shoot me!
Oh no, that's a nat 1, huh? Okay.
Don't shoot me.
Man, I was wondering when you start finally getting some bad rolls here. Okay, let's roll some severity here. Extreme
No! Gives me extreme convenience. Why?
If you shoot
That's
me,
a-
you're not getting
Oh.
a sword on my turn.
Fuck, that's an 89. Oh no. Jeez. I feel bad. Okay. As you prep to aim and fire extreme convenience, it jams and you get a vague feeling in your head, this mental sensation of something is trying to prevent you from killing right now. It's like, this is not what's best for your mental state of mind, man. You gotta clear yourself, gotta steel yourself, or you can
Love
heal
the
yourself.
scorpion.
It's just part of nature.
Kiss the scorpion.
Date the
Rest
scorpion.
the scorpion.
All right,
That's
so
Wisdom save now.
nah, you don't have to. That's all you can do in this case.
So I just got
Yeah.
a jammed bow then.
Yep, for the moment. You can try again next time. Who knows what? Okay, so that is the Cacto Boys. One of them looks up and sees Kyra's misfire, and you vaguely get a sense of judgment in its face. Tiny little cactus face. Then it turns and they all start scurrying away as quickly as possible, as far away from the scorpion as they can get. You can hear them faintly chirping at each other in a very weird language that you assume is a language. A couple of them you now see are actually a little bit bigger and have little red flowers on their heads.
Pikmin.
Do they have boxing gloves?
No.
Damn it.
One of them might. You don't know for sure, but might have little red flower bulbs on their arms that look like boxing gloves.
Ah. Godspeed, Togemon. Godspeed.
All right, they have all moved to their max movement and dashed away, but they're tiny, so they are not that far. They're actually just a little bit behind you guys, kind of hiding behind Alfie right this exact second.
Meep.
All right, so Cackles.
All right. So I was out of it. Give me a rundown of what's happening. Who are we attacking?
We got attacked by a giant scorpion while we're trying to set off for the morning.
Yeah, you guys were preparing to leave when you were suddenly beset upon by a horde of little cactus people who were being chased by a giant scorpion.
Okay. That's good to know.
And Grosk is currently charged it on a very obese bird.
And actually did a lot of damage.
Kyra would have if not.
You guys are rolling some extremes tonight.
CK may be named after a horrible sex pervert, but he got the job done.
Well, his name's Coyote Killer in this. It's better.
Okay.
He has earned his name.
Before I attack, I need the stats of that weapon, VB.
Sure thing. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Keckles steps forward, your new, mysterious, rather eccentrically voiced companion, and draws out a very nice-looking rapier, except it looks like it's made of wood. Very thin, spindly wood, very grainy, and down at the very bottom, you see a little block of cheese for the hilt.
Oh my fucking
A
god.
little cube of cheese. Behold the sacred weapon of Rockfort's champion.
Huzzah!
Gonna send in the stats now.
Cheese are like a molded pommel.
Alright, I don't need to really... I'll show you the stats later. For now, roll to attack. Use your dexterity modifier to add on.
Alright.
And your proficiency.
Yep.
I roll a d20.
Yep.
That's
D20
correct.
plus your dex and your proficiency, so D20 plus 5.
Okay, d20 plus 5. Well, it's a good thing I got that. Back to the room. Dice roll. 14 total.
14? Oof. That just misses in this case. You pull the little wooden sticker out. You advance forward, kind of in a fencing pose, making Kia noises, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
This ruffian just assaulted you as you were all preparing to depart. You take a jab out with the sword, but unfortunately it just catches on the chitin armor, just chipping it slightly. But, that said, it still gets its secondary effect of the weapon. Now this thing's got to roll a con save.
Oh my Christ. What is going on?
Oh.
You'll see. You'll see.
Oh, yeah, no, he felt that. Okay, so... The blade did no damage, but after a couple of seconds, the scorpion is definitely not feeling so good. It begins waving and jerking around erratically, scraping its pincers on its face as though trying to get something off of itself. And you can faintly see in the morning light this yellowy brown cartoon stink cloud coming off of it.
This weapon induces stink on hit.
If they make the con save,
Hell.
The
behold.
smell of really strong cheese.
Yep, really, really strong overripe cheese.
It's the Limburg way here.
Yep.
I hate you both.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
Limburg's Bane, it is called. I will send you the stats later. All right, so I don't think paladins. Do you have anything else you can do? Any bonus action?
Some spells you can cast as a bonus action, and you may have an ability that lets you do shit.
It's okay if you don't want to. You just want to move it on. You can
Yeah,
study
move it
what.
on.
Yeah, you can study
Yeah.
your abilities, so you'll be prepared next round.
Yeah,
All right.
move on.
Garana, it's your turn. You just saw this thing get olfactorily assaulted.
She just kind of stands there for a second and stares at it. And then she shakes her head and goes over to Kyra real quick. Says, Where's did you lose your machete?
Kyra says, still fiddling with the arrow. Someone come out. Extreme convenience is preventing her from using it. We need more time.
Okay, well,
It's somewhere around here.
You can roll a perception if you want to find it, but that
No,
might
she's-
take your action.
she's just going to hand her the scimitar that she picked up last round.
I'm gonna have Kyra roll a wisdom save because that's
Yeah,
a
that is a-
memory.
Yeah, sure. Roll a wisdom save for that.
She's gonna say something too, so
Oh, you can go ahead and say it.
Say it first, because
okay. Now I know this might not be the best thing to give you, but sometimes you just gotta take what you got. You can't
is that
always.
wisdom save?
You
Is that
can't.
wisdom save with advantage now?
You
I'll
can't.
give it to you for that.
You can't.
Okay,
always-
because our first roll was another nat 1.
Let the bard give her poem.
Jesus fucking Christ, guys.
Go on.
You can't always rely on luck, I guess. You've been very lucky so far.
Kyra looks to the camera.
It's kind of amazing, actually. I wish I was this lucky when I walked off the ship the first place. I'd never killed anything either.
Okay, so with that advantage, that gets me out of a nat 1.
Very good.
Because that's my first roll. My second roll was an 11, which is a 15.
Okay, yeah, that's enough. Yeah, you realize there's a point to it. This is kind of a dangerous situation, so you take the blade of the Yuan Ti that attacked you earlier. Hold it in your hand, shakes for a little bit, feeling the onrush of memories again for a moment. But you manage to steel yourself.
Now,
If you
now-
don't do it, this thing could kill you.
Yeah, now take this thing that was used to attack you and just shit all over the owner's memory by using it to defend yourself.
Kyra nods.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
Kyra remembers she has a second machete.
And it hungers for blood.
Was she close enough for me to do that without having to move that far?
Yeah, you're fine. You were all pretty close together as you were about to take off.
Okay. She will cast Fairy Fire on the scorpion then.
Alrighty. What's the save it has to beat again?
Let me see, where the hell was that again? It didn't change, so it was a 13.
Alright, let's
And
see.
that is a 13 for a dexterity save.
13 for dexterity save. Oh, yep, it beat it. Just by 1, but it beat it.
Okay.
Okay, so the fairy glow manages to come over it, but the stink cloud kind of overpowers bright lights, and they all just kind of dejectedly buzz down and just kind of land on the ground with little farting noises.
Oh. Well, that's good to know. light can't handle smell.
It's the superior sense. All right, so at least in this case, that's a magical sword.
It's fucking weird.
That's just me flavoring it, passing the save.
It's fine.
Okay, Lumi. For the record, Grusk is within 10 feet of it, as is her mount. So that would take two targets you'd have to exempt from whatever AoE you're
I'm
going to
not
use.
doing that.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I don't think I believe her because she started out with "it's fine," which
It's fine.
she says
CK's
right
gone.
before she.
Can't believe CK is fucking dead.
No, it's fine. I'm not gonna kill the.
What she says before she always AoE somebody. It's fine. Boom.
To be fair, I haven't like seriously injured anyone yet.
Thankfully.
Kara almost did. Almost.
You're lucky Schmeffrey passed that save. Anyway, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna throw a rock at it.
Throw a rock at it. Big rock. Actually,
I
Throw
threw
yeah.
a rock.
it'll be a chunk of the barn itself if you do that.
No,
That's the
no,
only
you
stone
know what it
that's
is?
set.
It's a pillow.
No, it's not a pillow. Fuck you. It says 5 pounds.
Okay, then you pull out a little chunk of the barn nearby because everything's sand. There's not much nearby for rocks. So that barn building is probably your only option there. But it still works, so.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is that sand is coarse and rough and it gets everywhere.
Forgot irritative. Alright, so. You gotta roll to hit.
Yep. I'm seeing it. I don't know if I add anything.
I don't think you
That's
do
what I
for
add
spell
to it, right?
attacks.
Maybe?
I'm not sure if you do for spell attacks in 5e, actually, not unless you got an ability to be added.
Add what to spell attacks?
If any modifiers or anything.
It depends
It's
on some
just your
spells, like
proficiency.
certain cantrips use add your charisma or whatever you use.
Just your proficiency plus your whatever applicable ability score to hit, and most don't have a ability score addition to damage. Most do not.
So I think for a sorcerer it'd be your charisma plus your
Yeah.
proficiency to hit for a spell attack.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Down under spells, it says spell attack.
15 hit.
15 just matches.
Okay.
So yes.
It has to make a dex save.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
It passes the save if it was a 15.
I think it's actually less than that because the spell save DC would be
Yeah, my spell
plus
DC is 12.
proficiency.
Okay, so does that mean half damage or
I think it just
Means
does-
twice the damage.
Nope, it doesn't take damage.
no damage at all? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you pick up a very loose kind of bit of stonework from the foundation of the old building. It's kind of crumbly, kind of gravelly. You launch it at it at full speed and it just kind of breaks into pebbles against its shell. It doesn't seem to do any damage, but it does kind of take a brief break from the stink cloud and notice you for doing that.
All
All
of its
right.
eyes narrow.
All of them. All right, it is now the big fucking scorpion's turn.
I just stepped out of my stink cloud and noticed that you were doing stuff. What's going on?
Thankfully, no, he does not do that. He decides to attack instead. Okay, so let me get his stats up here. Oh, yeah. Okay, the first thing he does. So he looks over at Grosk, and then at the particularly meaty morsel she's riding.
Oh no, fat bird.
No fat bird.
Oh, that's a 3. Nope. He snips out, but CK just kind of deftly back.
It's a big target and you still miss.
Narrowing
I'm the
its eyes
bard.
at
Let me
that.
do the vicious mockery.
It does that, and then, oh no, that does hit. All right.
So is that using a stinger now?
Not yet. It's a second strike with the claw.
I will
It
have to
goes
use
out.
that on my turn.
It grabs CK. 4. And it does.
It's 2,000 damage, killing it instantly.
Give it time. Who knows? All right, so. Oh no, that's max damage. It does 10 damage to CK, and CK is now grappled. So it gets a vice grip around CK's chubby torso, kind of feathers sinking in. You can hear the bird struggling a bit, wheezing a little. It took a hit. It is not feeling too good looking at him.
Not that bird.
And then, with it immobilized, it's going to attack with its stinger. Okay, so this time it's going to go after Grosk, who's mounted up on top. And, oh shit, that's a 21.
Yep, that beats it.
Shit face. Oh no. That's a D10. Where's my D10? Maybe I could not find my D10 and use a different dice instead, like a D12. All right, so there you are. Okay, lucky you. That's just 4 damage it takes from that. But I'm going to need you to roll me a con save as the stinger pierces in between the links of the shoulder.
Okay. Well,
You're a
That would
lizard
be-
folk, so this should go pretty easily. for
that
you.
would be an 18 con save.
Very good. You only take half damage.
Oh, boy.
All right, so just got to take these out here. Where's the other one? I know I had another one here. There you are. Okay. Grosk, you take 14 points of poison damage.
Is that
Oh.
already halved?
That's halved.
Wow, shit, that is harsh.
Yep. You feel it pulsing into your body for a brief moment, immobilized while it has a death grip. And you feel some pain and some throbbing, but your lizard folk biology is pretty well adapted for dealing with that, so the effects aren't as bad as they could have been.
Ouch.
It pulls the stinger out, looking a little more confident as the rest of the group. And it is now Tonk's turn. I'll have the mounts and whatnot go after Mitzi, so that CK can try and break out of his grapple.
Tonk's gonna move upwards or move up a little bit, at least past the mounts and his buddies, so he can has a clear shot at the Scorp.
Mm-hmm.
A cannon shot at the base of its tail. I don't think it needs
Okay.
to have that anymore. Rolling 22.
That hits.
Yay. Let's see. Dommage. D6, and just checking my spell real quick. Not spell, ability. There it is. Okay. There. Damn, that was pretty good. 15 points of damage.
15. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that actually was a good sized chunk there. Okay, you take aim carefully as it fidgets around. The Scorpion is currently mid-cocky pose with after just landing a successful blow on Grosk. And immediately after that, its tail is on fire. So it takes a massive burst of energy right to the base of it. It shrieks. And because of it taking damage, I'm going to roll to see if it keeps the grapple on CK. 14, you roll 4 CK. Oh, nice, yeah. CK just manages to squeeze out the grasp, only barely. And he is not feeling so good. He's kind of got his neck hunched down in a pretty fluid curve, panting pretty visibly. Not feeling too good. All right, so anything you want to do? Anything else you can do?
Not really.
All righty. It's Mitzi's turn. She sees the... let me look and see what's an action and what isn't here real quick. Yeah, it's an action. Okay. Mitzi, for a split moment, pulls out a longbow, considers looking at the creature, but then looks over at CK. She runs over as close as she can, touches the has cure wounds on it. Oh. Can't have you dying on us now, Shug. Okay, she heals for
2,000 HP.
Boy, don't I wish she was that good. Okay, that is... Okay, yeah. Not enough to really make things better, but she heals him for 4 points. So he heals up a little. He's not bleeding, at least. Looks a little bit more sprightly, but he's definitely not feeling so good still. And let's see, is there anything she can do as a bonus action here?
No, Kitty, don't do that.
Yes, Kitty, do that.
Yeah, no, that's all she can do. She took her action to heal. Okay, and with that, most of the Roadrunner mounts are going to move away to behind the building's wall nearby. CK looks over at them, but looks up at you, kind of puffs out his chest plumage a little bit and decides, yeah, we're doing this.
No guts, no glory.
24 to hit. Yeah, that hits.
All right.
This bird has a lot of guts. To spare.
Sadly, only 7 damage.
Hey, that still counts.
Wait,
All
8
right.
damage. I forgot that +1.
Okay, so -8. Yeah, no, it's still not feeling good. You managed to hack at it again, jabbing it with the blade right in between a couple of joints between its pincer and its main carapace. You see a lot of its oozing black hemolymph spilling out. That's bug blood.
You learn something new every day.
All right. Do you want to do anything else? Move away from him? Move
Nope.
closer? I don't know. All right, staying put. Good. Kyra?
Is the scorpion distracted?
Its attention is pretty thoroughly focused on the stung and is somehow still fucking stabbing it.
Alright, so how far away would you say it is?
It's only like 25 feet away at this point.
So first of all, Tyra, seeing Gross got hurt, who's right now is one of her bestest buds she has,
Aww.
Aww.
gets gunned like that. He's gonna roll a stealth check,
Do it.
which is a 18.
Not bad. I'm going to roll for it with disadvantage because it's currently occupied, but it does have multiple eyes. Good thing I said disadvantage. That was a 17 plus stuff. Yeah, it's an 8. Okay, yeah. You just get down on the ground. Your khaki natural
So yeah,
environment.
Kyra dashes forward with the 1T blade and aims.
All right, then. You get up onto the other side of it.
That is a 19, so I think that's gonna hit.
That's going to hit, yeah.
And how much does the 1T blade do again?
It's a standard scimitar at this
So
point, so it's a
1d8?
D6
Alright, 1d6 plus.
plus 1d4 poison.
Okay, that's.
Now it's in a murder sandwich.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's been
it
a
is.
fighter and a rogue.
Okay, so that's plus my dex. That is 14 points of damage plus my 2d6.
Nice. Yeah, no, you hack one of its pincers off with that.
And my
Unfortunately,
sneak
scorpions.
attack is another 10.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. The math right here. Oh shit. Okay, so how do you want to do this?
Oh boy! Kyra is going to just run up and just stab it right in the back.
Just get right in between a couple of the chitin plates.
Yeah, she's just like blind rush stab. Like, I can do this. I can do this. Just trying to get Rusk out of it.
Congratulations, you did it. You just got it down to 0 with that exact match. All right,
Well,
so
one that point was the poison, so I imagine it would try to turn around and do a one last feeble like slight before the poison kicks in.
oh yeah. Fortunately, scorpions are not immune to envenomization. No, bad design flaw, God. Bad design flaw. All right, so
Kyra falls back when it tries to do it, but then it just slowly goes limp.
curls up in on itself a little bit. This enormous 20-foot long scorpion is no more. The cat. Go ahead.
That was the thing.
There you go.
Good show. Good show.
I knew you had it in you, Mitzi says. So, and you hear a weird collection of kind of Mogwai whistles behind you.
Oh no.
You all turn around.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All of the cactus people are standing there just watching all of you. Just all of them in unison, none of them moving. Wide eyes, unblinking.
Gross just slumps in the saddle on CK.
Irana waves at the cactus people.
Kyra will hand Groska a healing potion.
Grosk will feebly grab it. And take a drink.
All right, is that a standard one?
Yeah.
In that case, it's 2d4 plus 4.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we'll let you get your results out of that.
Yay, I get 9 HP back.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Irana's going to side-eye the cactus people and kind of step backwards and pat Grosk on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
Very
And she's
good.
watching these freaking cactuses like, what the shit's going on?
One of them, one of the ones with the flower on its head and the flowers on its hands, steps forward. Makes a bunch of little squeaky noise.
Well said, good chum. Well
Bows at you. Offers you plucks off one of its flowers and hands it to one of you.
I imagine that would be Kyra because she's
Yes.
the beast.
It advances up towards Kyra and hands
Kyra tentatively accepts the flower.
very carefully. Very carefully so as to dodge
Yes.
its prickly pear fingers.
Well, she's covered in gloves.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. So yeah, you take it. You can't really get a read on the thing's facial expression, but it immediately turns and trots back to the rest of its tribe, you guess?
So, since I have the linguistics feat and anthropology background, can I roll like a check on that?
Sure, you can roll a knowledge in nature in this case.
With advantage due to my linguistics perk?
Sure.
Not that I needed that. That was a 15 plus my intelligence. That's a nat 20.
Nice. Okay, yeah. You have heard stories about plantiforms who wandered around, a few of them quite different from others, most of them residing in the deeper forests of the world. There aren't many of them out on this continent, but what you just heard was a weird dialect of the Vegapygmy tongue.
Oh, that's...
Nifty.
It won't load for me. Why won't it load? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So that was a gesture of thanks, I'm guessing?
Yep. Those flowers are actually kind of a sign of importance and leadership among their people, usually. Any one of them that sprouts flowers at any one point.
Aww.
And so Kyra was given it.
Yep. You can't really get a grasp on what they were saying, but you get the gist with that nat 20 that they're thanking you for saving their tribe. That thing was after them. You don't know why, but it clearly was. Because they are calm now.
Obviously, it wanted to collect enough of them to melt them down into a gold brick. And now has to send its cat Azrael after them since it's been seriously damaged.
But then we'd have to kill them.
That is true.
Yeah, we all know that Smurfs aren't allowed to live.
Yeah, no, they were exterminated on this continent eons ago.
Good!
Nobody misses them. They were a blight. Alright, so
I'm also going to roll a history check to see for Kyra if that would be culturally acceptable if you could... on how to... Oh, that's an nat 20. Not bad, Kyra!
Really?
What the shit is going on tonight?
Oh, the previous one wasn't the previous one was an unnatural 20. This one's a natural one.
Nice. Okay, so it kind of takes you a minute, but then you remember a book on a lark back in university about an explorer's time among the plantiform tribes. He learns that it's generally best to wear the flower proudly if you wish to be seen as a friend of their people. Hiding it is seen as a sign of shame.
Kyra is going to put it in her ear then.
Good. All right, as you do, it's strangely cool to the touch.
Ooh.
Not cool enough to make you immediately think, oh shit, that's... But it's noticeably cool for the climate. Seeing you do this, the larger cactiform just kind of bows a little. Then they all trot back to each other. They just talk among themselves for a second. All turn in unison, bow again, and run off in a straight line off into the desert at breakneck speed.
Godspeed.
Hopefully this flower does not rot.
It's like, well, strangest things already happening around with y'all. Mitzi kind of says, shaking her head a little. Like, if that ain't a way to start the morning. So anyone else get hurt at all? Anyone else need a little bit of patchwork done?
No friends have healed Gross quite well, but CK could use some help.
Oh, yes, of course.
Kyra just got the Cactobot flower of leadership. It's a matrix of leadership.
Okay, so Mitzi kind of steps up to CK again. He's not a little healthier looking than he was before. She rolls and okay, not bad. It's heals him for oh nice. That's 11 points. Yeah, he's back up to I think he's back up to full now. Yeah, he is.
Also, petition to name the lead Cactus Prime.
Captimus Prime. Sure.
Harvestless boy?
Well, Irana looks at CK and says, well, I don't know what your owner is talking about because you got some spunk.
Also, should we do something about the scorpions?
Boy, right?
Ross?
I eat scorpion steaks.
Oh yes, girls can do survival check.
Remember, you get double. It's double proficiency, not advantage. So basically, you add a 4 to it instead of a 2.
Yeah, I know my character sheet. Really?
Again?
Fucking yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna allow it because that was a pretty. Okay, so
This is Grosk's good day.
Grosk is doing well. I mean, she took a lot of damage from that, and boy, you lucked out by passing that save. That was a 4d10 attack.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Oof.
All right, so
It's not just me, Mr. DM.
yeah, I know all of you are cheaters. All right, so
Chaos Anxiety will remember this.
The dice roll
Good
is
luck.
making up to Romeo for all the fucking times it failed me as a DM.
amazing, isn't it? Amazing. All right, you are just feeling extra personal about the scorpion because it just straight up attacked you and your new friend.
And your friend saved you this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you pull out that new carving knife.
It is a sign of friendship.
And you just go to town, you carve this thing up. You manage to peel off the chitin perfectly, just right from the bone, from the muscle. You get good cuts of the meat.
Yay.
So yeah, I'm going to say from that, because it's a pretty big creature, you're going to get, I'm going to say 10 rations worth of food.
Yay.
And this is like big bug, so you just know that meat is really lean. Like we're talking lean is beef lean.
It's a desert species too, so there's no fat on it.
Might we be able to get some good juices from its stinger?
You can. You will have to roll again for that one. You also will get 4 of its large back chitin plates and 1 of its pincers.
Kyra cut the other one off.
She did damage it with that stab, yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing this is going into the pack of holding, or
Yeah.
the frozen pack of
You rolled so well, you even managed to cut around all the points. You correctly estimated where the poison from the Yuan Ti blade wouldn't have gotten to by the time its blood stopped flowing. So, yeah, you got all the good meat out of that. Had you killed it without the poison damage, you probably would have gotten more, but still, it's pretty great. Okay, so dice rolls. 17 to get poison? Yeah, you managed to get most of it out. It used up a pretty sizable amount pumping it into you, but you managed to get a pretty sizable glass jar. I'd say about a Legend of Zelda bottle level of scorpion venom.
Banana.
Then
And you get the stinger itself.
And looking at the remains of the scorpion, I pat its multi-eyed head and say, "Your sacrifice will not be in vain."
Take the head and the tail. That's a trophy.
You said your sucker face won't be in vain. I'm like, what?
Grosk has accent. You want to make fun?
In character. Unless Gross is going to reach to the computer and beat my ass.
Grosk will. Grosk will give no fucks.
It's like, well, that was an eventful morning. I don't think any of us are going to be getting sleep after that. It's like you took about an hour to carve everything out expertly. You all mount atop your various beasts of burden and take off into the desert once more.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, I've seen both. It's fun. It's not fun at all, actually. Okay, so this time the ride is a little bit more leisurely. You're taking advantage of the morning a little bit, trying to make sure. Mitzi's looking at a map on occasion, trying to remember exactly if there are any landmarks on the way to stop. She wants to take a break right around noonish. And just before the sun, just a little ways before the sun hits its highest point, you come across a pretty high bluff right up directly ahead of you. And Mitzi just snaps her padded fingers together. Oh, right. We're actually closer than I thought. Okay, she stops everyone, motions for them to come in and listen. Over this hill is a little town we can stop in, rest for the night. We should be able to reach there by noon tomorrow if we do. Be a bit of a detour, but I imagine beds and less chance of scorpion attacks are pretty worthy incentives.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Indeed.
All right. Next up, she pulls out a little book and starts flipping through it. It's a handler's guide to the region. Ah, yeah. Near Colleyfield. Old farming town. Wonder how they're doing. Haven't been out here in a while. And I will spell that out for you guys.
The DM is dropping hints. That something might be going on.
It's not in this map currently. It's I'd say.
Where on the map would it be?
Okay. You guys headed pretty much straight north on the trade road. Okay, you know that little town right there, little ways about almost halfway up the map northeast from Epton? Looks like a little valley, little indentation there. You guys are right coming up on that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Colleyfield's a bit humble, not exactly about the same. Y'all went to that town Otzi before this, right?
That's our lake, yes.
Yeah, it's of a similar caliber. And as she steps up to the field, talking, she just stops dead and drops the map she was holding. Oh, gods, no.
What is happening?
You go up to her vantage point?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You are treated to the smoldering remains of a town. Down and below the bluff. Little ways down, short walk on the trail once you get there. Probably take you about an hour to walk there. It's still kind of smoking. This was kind of recent. And above it, there's the sky has an unnatural orange tint to it in spite of the fact that it's morning. The sky around you is actually a bright blue.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Health getting a bit of deja vu.
Yeah,
Little
fuck.
bit. Don't like this.
I don't like this either.
Another orb hunt down.
Oh, dear. This looks like it just happened. Maybe. Think anyone's still down there? Or?
We must
We can check.
and see.
If y'all want to, I mean.
Well, if there's anybody down there that we can help, then yes, we should.
Yeah, you're right. Her fur is kind of. I'd say she's kind of Don Bluth fur puffing out a little bit. She has pretty close to Tiger from American Fluff at some moments. As she's kind of smoothing it down on her arms a bit and smoothing her tail out, wringing it a little. Yeah, we should. I'll get the cart ready. She moves over to Alfie. You all mount astride your critters and make your way down towards the town. And as you get closer, not yet. You can definitely immediately feel as you change it. It stops feeling like a desert morning and now feels like the beach at night. It's muggy and it's wet kind of feeling, and it's very oppressive and heavy. And you see some bodies laying out in the middle of a charred field all around you as you move cautiously forward. Some of them humanoid, some of them anything but. Some of them quite monstrous, and almost all the bones are scorched.
I'd like
That's-
to. Oh, sorry.
Good.
I'd like to look at the more monstrous ones to try and figure out what the hell these are.
Knowledge Arcana.
Kara's gonna roll 2.
I think I could help with that, yeah.
That looks.
At
like
a
it.
19,
Let me
what does
see.
Kara's nerd eyes tell her?
Nothing doing. I got 11.
Hey, 11's not all that bad, actually. Okay, let me go up to the right pages here.
No,
16 isn't bad.
I rolled
Okay.
and got 10.
Not bad, not bad. Okay. 10, not bad. Kyra, the first thing you see is a large horned skull with very long spiraling horns and the bones of wings splayed out. It looks like it got impaled into the ground. You can see a puncture mark between two of its ribs.
Can Kara identify it since that's an Arcana?
It's a horned devil.
Oh, fuck.
Not exactly a lightweight in the demonic hierarchy that come from the abyss of the infernal realms. And with that 16, Tonk, and 11, you advance up and you find a much larger body, this one with kind of insect-like wings breaking out of its back, Cronenberg style. Its body is a bleached white and has a lot of chitinous material covering it. This one is a bone devil. It got killed as well. Looks like it met a very violent end. You can see a lot of people all around suffering a similar fate.
So, did all these suffer the same injuries?
Pretty close. Some of them are a little different. You can roll medicine if you want more specific answers.
And Kara's a decent wisdom. Why not? 18.
Not bad, not bad.
I have a proficiency in medicine, so I can roll that pretty good, I think.
I had some
By
wisdom
puncture wounds, it
skills.
sounds like these were gunshots.
A few of them. Some of them look more like piercing weapons, but yeah, some of them, there are very prominent impact wounds on the rib cages of some of these creatures. 3 distinct holes that tear right through and scorch the earth beneath them. But it doesn't look like they were shot out of the air. It looks like they were pinned to the ground and then shot point blank executioner style.
Remember the other night, or last night, when the Magni passed by? I think this is where he came from.
Be a good
He's going
guess.
to-
All right. Mitzi just kind of is twiddling her paws, looking around, checking to see if she recognizes any materials laying near any of the bodies. She knew some people here. It is not exactly a happy moment for her, but she's still persisting. Some of the roadrunners are just downright, they are acting like they just straight up do not want to go into the area.
Should we try to bring back something back to Epton, like one of the demon skulls or something? Because the whole devil's here.
Yeah, those are pretty powerful things. I think they'd have to call Thark out to handle one of those.
Right, we should put. We have the bag, so we can probably put one or two of their skulls as evidence.
Alrighty. You guys managed.
I'm gonna roll an investigation check to see what all Kyra can get. And that's a 21.
Sure thing. 21, not bad. Okay. You look for the most distinctive, damning, these are things, bones that you can find.
Also, like shell casings or the like.
Mm-hmm. You do find a couple of charred flakes of metal, but nothing particularly like a shell casing. There's little flecks of what almost looks like silver on the ground, little chips. Did you
Kyra's
manage?
taking everything and putting them in like little like evidence baggies and shit.
Oh, she's CSIing it. Okay,
Hey, anthropologists include forensic anthropology.
that it does. Okay, yeah, you managed to get that horn skull, which is probably the most iconic visage you can have. It's got 4 horns on its head, 2 of them spiraling outwards, most like 10 feet. This is a big creature.
And it's in the bag.
Yep. You managed to find a sunken-in skull of a chain devil, along with some of its chains, although they are kind of broken up to shit. And you managed to find the broken tip of an ice devil's spear.
Ooh, frick.
Hmm.
Can I roll a knowledge arcana or planes to figure out why all these devils would be here in the first place?
It'd be Arcana for that.
Alrighty, here we go. 20. Unnatural.
Mod 20, okay.
Freaking
Yeah.
You've heard a little bit. You know that there have been occasions in the past when infernal outbreaks have occurred. Usually it's someone actively bringing them in, though. It's very difficult for them to cross the plane on their own. Nobody entirely knows why. The theory by a lot of arcanists is that the realm gate is guarded. There are no active planar gates open in this realm by any laws. Lots and lots of ancient laws. The only one known left were the ones the dragons kept. And from what you know, there's very little writing of life in the infernal realm itself, but not all of the people in charge of it, the lords of the infernal realm, are intent on being hostile with the material plane.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this was a raiding party of some kind, but how they got here, you can't tell. But as you advance into the town, the sky begins to become more of an unnatural dusk-like. It looks like the sky is a metal album cover orange right now.
Fun!
You can see the buildings have been torn to shit. There's a lot of interesting things all over the place. Lots of rubble, bodies laying around, most of them charred up to shit. You feel a little bit more heat as you enter into the area. The temperature's gone up a little bit again, but it's still more of a humid heat than the desert around you. And roll an investigation. Actually, no. Kyra, wisdom save.
Oh, fuck! That's a 2!
Oh, yay. Okay. Okay, so you know that eye that you saw on your head last night?
Yeah?
You can see it, but only you can. It's up in the sky, and it's looking at something that isn't you. It's looking at the inside of a building through a very thin window shaft.
Kyra looks where the eye is looking towards.
You have to advance forward and peer in through the window or the nearby door. So.
Kyra doesn't know. Kyra's fucking terrified at this point. Like, she's on the ground.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. You just saw your friend kind of have a little moment there.
I'm put a hand on the chair. Oi, you all right? What's going on?
You all right, miss?
You tell me you don't see that?
See what?
See what?
Oh.
Grosk see lots of dead devils. That's one thing Grosk see.
Kyra's face is pure white as, you don't see that giant damn eye in the sky?
Can we
I'll
look up
look
and,
it up.
and see?
You can look.
Oh, yes, it's called Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Saw it last night in my dream.
Kyra, we don't see anything.
How high
Looking
is
at
it?
that building over there.
It's
She
look-
points to the building with the window shaft.
I'm gonna stay here with. I probably should get her. Oi, I'm gonna stay here with Kyra.
Yeah, well, I will go look then.
Gently put
All
her.
right.
I shall as well.
All right. Keckles advances forward with you. Rapier drawn. I imagine you guys have your weapons out at this point.
Oh yeah.
Hmm?
This
Kyra's
place is
shaking.
giving off some mucho grande bad juice.
Kyra has one hand on extreme convenience and one hand on the Wanti sword.
Kyra, you faintly feel a sensation of a slight, soft, rubbery appendage wrapping around your shoulder for a brief moment. Say, I shall be with you always, always.
Oh, can I roll another wisdom save?
Yes, you can.
That is not helpful in the least.
Hey, so Vigo. She rolled a 14 plus her wisdom, which is an 18.
Okay, yeah. It makes you feel a tiny bit better as you collect extreme convenience. You feel a slightly familiar voice in your head. One that still makes you confused, but confused is better than
And is the
scared.
eye still there?
Yeah, oh no, it's still there. It's not even remotely paying you any mind. But you see, it's as Irana advances closer, the slit in the middle narrows a little bit. It doesn't shift its gaze. It's still looking exactly at that point.
Can Kyra roll an Arcana to figure out what the fuck that eye is?
You can.
It's Unicron.
That's a 19.
19. Okay, you are pretty sure that this is definitely connected to what you had last night. So you're putting together that, yeah, you saw that eye the first time when Eli fucking Bell drove by you. Not paying you any mind. That was a passive effect of him being nearby.
Oh, fuck.
So this probably has something to do with him. You're not 100% sure. But, okay, Irana, as you advance closer, you peer in through the doorway or the windowsill.
Yeah, and I say, hello, is there anybody here?
As you say that, the eye, Kyra, you see, zeroes in on her.
Oh, fuck.
The pupil dilates, and Irana, all of you even, you're no longer there for a moment. All of a sudden, the town is normal. The sky is blue. You're just seeing a vision of normalcy.
What?
Okay, this is weird.
Gong. You hear a bell going off overhead. You see a clock tower nearby. You just saw a moment ago was knocked over completely into another street. Gong. It rings again. The people all just kind of are going about their business, walking right by you, walking right through you even.
Oh.
Gong 3 times. Like,
This is fantastic. I like where this is going.
It goes again. All of a sudden, you're no longer in the middle of the street. You're up on the bluff you were on earlier, watching things happen. It's a gong. You can hear it from here as clearly as though it was right over your head. It's 5 now. Gong once more. You can feel it inside your bones. It's shaking a little bit. That slight tingling sensation of a loud noise right near you. The sky begins to change a little bit. Gong 7 times now. You look over and you see standing next to you is the tall tiefling standing next to a bike, kind of watching what's going on. Gong, his face is torn. There's pain in his eye. His very bright yellow sulfuric eyes and his pale skin looks stretched thin, like he hasn't slept in days. The tattoo of the eye on his head, which you see is an almost exact match to what you were seeing in the sky. Gong 9 times now. It's like you see him begin to chant something under his breath. It's in the infernal tongue. You can tell that much, and for some reason you can understand what he's getting at, even if you don't understand the words themselves. He's making an incantation of some kind. He's moving his long, gaunt hands little by little. Gong 10 times now. The people in the town are still acting normally, but the sky begins to darken right overhead. They all start to stop what they're doing, stop their business, move outside, look up, wondering what exactly is happening, if maybe some rain is coming in this dry, dusty part of the world that the gods have forgotten. Gong 11 times now. The sky begins to really build up and begins to accept as normal for this place. Eli's incantations are getting faster, his eyes getting more feverish. It's like he stops right as it rings 12. Gong. For a brief moment, he makes eye contact with you. Time just seems to stop. Gong. It goes off a 13th time. And the sky just opens up like it's just been ripped. and a horde of black just descends on the town. And his eyes just go wide, and you hear him just go, "No!" and gets on the bike and darts right towards the town at breakneck speed. Gun out. You see chaos unfolding. Demons and devils descending upon the people and just ripping them to shreds. You see Eli approaching. He stretches out his hand, going so fast that you can barely even make out detail. And a gun materializes in his hand from nothing. And as he advances forwards towards the leader of the band, a large horned devil you saw earlier, a spear materializes in his other hand. He jumps off the bike at it at full breakneck speed, impales it, and the vision ends. And you're right back where you all were. The eye is gone.
Huh. Oh. You all saw that, right?
That was weird.
Saw that one.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm not crazy. The whole world's crazy.
What in the hell's just happened here? Mitzi's shaking a little bit. Even the animals look kind of uncomfortable now. Something ain't right. Did he summon them? Or was he trying to stop them? I don't... What?
A summon.
If he was summoning, if he just summoned them, then why did he try to kill them all? Was he forced to do it? Was he possessed?
I have no idea, but we are definitely people when we get back to town about this, Mitzi says, kind of nervously chuckling. I don't really... We shouldn't have come here. We really shouldn't have.
So what's in the building that we...
Well, I mean, if we hadn't come here, no one would know if his town was all wiped out by demons and a motorcyclist, so...
I think we should try to send some word back to Epton.
I mean, overall, I think this is a net positive.
I think we need to... Someone needs to send something back to Epton as quickly as possible. I don't know how, but...
If,
Someone who isn't wanted by mob.
Did anyone see what the eye was looking at?
You all peer inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can see a scrawl of 3 letters in the Inferno that seared onto the wall, glowing a molten light. Their language is highly deep. Few letters can mean quite a bit. I don't think any of you know the language, but as you get closer, you can feel a sensation in your heads.
Carol's gonna roll a linguistics check.
Sure thing. Although in this case, that'd just be straight intelligence.
Okay, so... Not 20, but it's a 19, so that's a 24.
Yeah, you have a pretty good grasp of what's happening, and you hear the voice of Eli Bell in your head for a brief moment, even though you've only heard one word out of him that you could understand.
And what word is this?
Words basically convey, I hate what I do.
Oh?
Oh. And so what is the... So that's what the runes mean?
Yeah, it conveys that emotion, sort of. It's a self-loathing, but a resolute kind. In a, I do this, I hate that I do it, but I still do it. It doesn't communicate much in the way of intent, but you're not even entirely sure if he wrote it or if it was just something left behind or what. But you heard a voice that sounded like the one you heard coming from him in your head.
In any event, we need to send word back to town as quickly as possible somehow.
Yeah.
A message spell or some way to get back in contact with the guild or something.
Oh, I'm not sure myself. Oh, Mitzi snaps her fingers. Animal messenger. I can do that. Yes. I just need something send it with. I don't
Let's
think
get
I'm
out
gonna.
of this area.
Yeah. We'll see if we can find something when we get out of the area.
Alright, I think we got enough what we can get. Kyra says is,
Mhm.
would Kyra know if anything bad would happen if she swallowed the infernal runes in a notebook or something?
You would not know that.
Until you
Yeah.
try.
The infernal tongue is tricky. Sometimes emotional conveyance by copying it can have similar effects. No one's entirely sure.
Yeah,
It's the tongue of another realm. You can copy down a rough quote, like an abridged version of what you think it means. But
Yeah, Kyra's not gonna. I don't know, thought about mimicking the rune because linguist, but
That's bad juju.
she knows better.
Yeah.
Irana kind of looks at the ruins before she leaves the house and says, "He seems like a very sad man." And then she walks out.
I think the demon skulls will be enough.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Now, Mitzi just goes quiet. Her ears perk up. Oh no. I should have thought about this. We're not alone.
We're not?
Oh no.
And you faintly hear in the distance a faint, raspy growl echoing across an alleyway as the sky begins to darken slightly in the strange perpetual dusk. Everyone roll perceptions for me.
Oh,
Okay.
goody!
Ah, yes. My favorite.
Ooh, not too bad.
Sweet, delicious perception.
Oh, I got that
Oh.
one.
I
Oh,
did
no.
as well, Shady.
Oh,
Hey,
bros.
that one, brothers.
Hey.
Got our own natural wonder starting. Oh, that was a 2. That's not a nat 1.
Sorry, I confused.
Liar.
you.
All right.
It's about as good.
Okay, so Keckles,
Yee.
you don't hear anything. You're still processing everything that's happened. Processing back home, wondering this group that you're with seems to attract bad luck.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's not.
The rest of you all hear it, and you rasping, shattering sound like teeth clacking together, and you briefly see something dash between houses. Something small and something long. On 2 legs.
Dear God. The mythical bipedal horse penis.
Oh my
What is that?
Oh, fucking shit.
Alright, so as it darts around, let me see here. What's your AC, Keckles?
My AC. Let's see my AC. Hold on. I'm still getting used to AC.
That doesn't matter. It rolled a nat 1.
What a piece of shit.
You are lucky it is a kindred spirit here. Okay, so as you guys are all standing around, some of you are starting to a little bit more on edge, hands going to your there already. And Keckles, as you do, you just collect yourself in time as a pair of jaws snap right next to your eye as a large reptilian creature leaps over you, trying to snap at your head and missing, and tumbling into the middle of everything. It's a dinosaur of some kind. A small predatory one. You can roll knowledge nature if you guys want to know what this is.
Okay.
Yes.
Feral puppy!
Feral puppy.
Ooh,
Oh,
that
that's cute though, feral puppy.
Okay, that's much better. 21.
Not bad at all, yeah.
18.
Not bad. Okay, that's enough for all of you to know that this is something in the raptor family.
Okay.
This is what's known as a jackal raptor. They
Like
are
the ones from Kong?
a little smaller. Imagine that crossed with a jaggy.
Okay, I see.
Damn, I know
I
what
see.
stats you're using now.
Hee hee hee. All right,
I've been
so
looking at that thing all day.
it's a fun book. Okay, so
It is.
you know a few things about these creatures. One, they are consummate pack hunters, which means that probably was a plan to attack you with the other one as decoy, and that there's always a whole around. This one, seeing it surrounded after unsuccessfully attacking your feathered friend,
Well, that's when the attack comes, not from the front, but from the sides. And those other two jackal raptors, you didn't even know were there.
that's exactly what happens, actually. A couple more of them leap out on top of barrels and out of the wreckage of the buildings. These things had seen the commotion and smelled the sizzling flesh, and have definitely come to see what they can get. More and more of them start to show up. There's now the better part of 10 of them looking down at you.
Oh, shit.
From all across the pack, you see a couple of larger ones. And the one that's surrounded by all of you holds its head up high and just barks this really loud, ugly, rasping cry. And it's answered by a large hooting sound of sorts. And the alpha comes in from down the alley. A creature that it's bigger than CK. It's about, you can look at eye level with Alfie. It's a pretty big animal. These things have one larger member that serves as the super major, makes the decisions, that leads the hunt. And it is looking like you guys are the best meal it's got here. They look kind of angry because nothing here has any meat on it. And you guys are now completely surrounded. But before you roll initiative, that hooting cry attracted something else. You hear another roar. Rusk, you know this roar.
Stabhead!
You all look behind you where the cry is coming from, and you see on top of the bluff is a large horned dinosaur, a sizable bit bigger than the other one, and it is staring daggers at this pack. Rusk, it's your boy. You have no idea how.
Boy.
You have no idea how you left each other behind so long, but you know him anywhere. He just homeward bounded the shit out of this.
Aw.
He's come to you in your hour of need. Stabhead has come. And
Well,
looking at,
I would run up to Stabhead, but, we're kind of surrounded.
yeah, you are, but he's there, and he's coming down the bluff towards you at full speed. He might be a few rounds. So,
Okay.
let's see. How late can you guys go here?
Pretty late.
Pretty
I'm
late
not-
if I can go pee real quick.
A little bit
I
longer.
can't.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really go too long.
In that case, we'll stop here and start up with the
Yeah.
fight next time.
Okay.
Excellent.
Because this is a pretty big combat encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to head off, gang. This was a fun time.
Goodbye.
Night, TT.
Goodbye.
Kara got the kill again.
It's not sentient. She doesn't need to freak the fuck out about it.
I gotta go use bathroom. I'll be back.
All right.
Alright.
That was fun
So
for
does
me.
that flower do anything in the Pacific?
Night, everybody.
You'll have to find